What's up, everyone? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. This is your boy M3. Also, make sure that you guys and ladies get your minds right because we're going to have another hot topic that's going to probably offend you because you guys are too sensitive. Anyways, I have Miss Polly and I have Mr. Best in the world. Courtesy of Mr. Best with the topic for tonight, which I'm about to put up in just a second. Tonight's topic is, why can't black people get along? I'm sorry, nope. Why can't black people work together? Here's some of my phone.
Mr. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm chilling.
I'll be right back.
As always, ladies first. Miss Polly, you can build on your thoughts about that question.
Oh, for just the okay. Well, I will say, just gonna straight out answer it. I didn't really like. That's a really good question. I think we all kind of like, even though we're all from the same place. What I mean by that is the U.S. It's still different. There's different backgrounds, different ways to be brought up. And I think it's just really hard for us to really connect with each other when we're all just so diverse, even in a place like this where we're all kind of supposed to be unified. Like even our cultures and things like that, we're just so diverse, even within, America. That's what I think. But I really don't know any other reason why really that can really point it out, other than you have people from the South, you have people from up north. We weren't really built on doing things together in a group. There's no group mentality here.
Okay. I'm gonna take a pause for the cause real quick. Give a shout out to Late to the Fallout. You know what I mean? Good to see you, sister. So why people can't work together is a good topic, but why is the word black involved? Some people that have that better tans than I. Hey, it's a cultural topic. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Salute to the homie Truth. Truth, you know what I mean? You know what it is, Brody? Definitely tap in. You know what I mean? I'm going to send you the link in a minute, Truth. Give me one second. I'm kind of just putting things together. You know what I mean? But in order to answer my own topic question that I have given to us as a team, I would say it's a plethora of reasons. I think that it's a lot of things that we've been indoctrinated with through segregation, slavery, etc. Different experiences that we've had, and it's been different things systematically, politically, and socially that has been put in place to keep us separate. And if we are not aware of these things, if we're not conscious of these things, if we're not taking accountability not even accountability, we're taking responsibility for what we do forward, then it's going to be an issue. So we have to move forward and understand these are the things we need to do to be united. Now, we're all not going to see these things the same way, okay? Some of us are going to be Christians, some of us are going to be Muslims, some of us are going to be, we're going to want to do relationships differently. We're going to want to, raise our kids differently, have different, careers and all types of stuff, live different spaces and places. But that don't mean that we can't be united, right? Unity only takes a person saying, all right, I feel your perspective. I may not agree with it, but I'm willing to work with you. That's all it takes. You know what I mean? I may like to eat steak every day. That may be my dinner of choice, right? Steak is my thing. Miss Polly may want chicken every day. That might be what she wants to rock with. I don't want nothing to do with chicken. But I respect the fact that Miss Polly likes chicken and I like steak, and we can still be unified. We just like to eat different things. You know, it don't got to be a big deal. Why is the fact that I choose to believe or maybe want something different does that have to be an issue? And that's really the underlying factor. We make a bigger thing on just common things that we choose to do that doesn't really affect the other person. So if I'm choosing to do something different outside of what somebody else is doing, it should not fully affect them. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100. So yeah. Miss Polly's having a moment, I see.
Nope. I just want to make sure I'm not echoing. You know, I have dancers today around my house, so it was just, you know, it's fine. It's fine.
You're not echoing. You good. You good. You good.
I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Yeah. I mean, I know I hear what you're saying. Like I said, just diversity within ourselves. Like most people who are here, you know, even if you say like, let's just say Caucasians, which even within themselves they have diversity. They're still like, you know, you're not gonna see as much difference unless you're in a place where like they're trying to, you know, still kind of separate by like who's Irish, who you don't really see that, you know, they're just all Caucasian. But when you have people who are from the South, when people from the North, we're just like kind of different culture wise, you know, people from the South, but just for example, there's a lot more Creole people, you know, who have a little bit different culture than someone you meet from, you know, California. It's just like a different kind of energy. Um, and we're not really unified on anything. And like our backgrounds are not there. We don't have anything that's actually ours. Um, all we know, a lot of us only know that we're from Africa. A lot of us don't know what country. Even if you get a DNA test and it shows multiple places, you still don't have really that identity where you can say, hey, I'm Irish or I'm just Scottish. You have to say you're four different things or from four different countries in a different place. And then even if you try to take on all their traditions are entirely different. And for me, especially if you're American, you may even you're not connecting with anything. You know, unfortunately, slavery has really just kind of dissected our people into like separated us so much that we really don't have anything to identify with each other other than the fact that we're brown skinned. And then even within that, we do colorism. So technically speaking, we're still dividing even when we have no reason to really do such.
Okay, but even in colorism, right? Isn't that a choice? And before I keep going, salute to Daryl Long. I see you, brother. I see you. You know what I'm saying? You know, but isn't that a choice to be separated by colorism, right? That's a choice. Like we don't have to choose to do that. We're choosing to do that, and we're choosing to be a certain way. You know what I mean? We're choosing to be separated.
I mean, well, I would say a little bit, but people do treat you different. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is true. People do treat you different. If you're darker, if you're lighter, it's very, very true.
So do you feel like you've been treated differently based on maybe you're not as dark or maybe it's not as light as somebody?
Absolutely. 100%.
So in that instance, was it something that you feel like you've gone through a lot, or you feel like it was like rare instances?
All the time, especially in the South.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all the time. You know, in the South is a little different. You know, you're told that you're too white or you're you're too black. There is no middle. And then if you're bright, like sometimes you get told a lot of things. We've had conversations like before where you're like, oh, you don't understand because you're light skinned, or the perception, which some people don't understand. The perception that I've heard people say light skinned people are nasty, they're dirty, they're freakier, so you can't trust them. Some people I've heard men say like, oh, I want to find a light skinned girl so I can have light skinned babies. You see a lot of that. You see a lot of people talk about how they want to have, like, if they do end up with someone who's lighter, it's just this ongoing thing where then you doubt yourself. People say, oh, that's nice. Then you're gonna get chosen by all the guys. No, it's not, because then you feel like you're chosen just because you're light. I've made comments like, just because someone's light doesn't mean they're attractive. There's ugly light skinned people. There's ugly dark skinned people, and it's just what it is. It's kind of sucks.
Okay, so light is not always right. I get you. So when that was happening to you, what did it do to your like self-esteem, and what did it do to like your overall image? Like, how did it make you feel?
Well, I will even add on the fact that I kind of grew up around Jamaicans a lot. So, and so I will say it, and I'm not, because I'm mixed, so I'm not as curvy. I was very stickler. I'm not as curvy as a lot of the women, blah blah. So I was told I wasn't as attractive. Absolutely. The only thing that was attractive about me was that I was light. Other than that, there was nothing else that was attractive. So for me, I think on the self-esteem, even now, I don't want to be thin. And I don't like when guys approach me and say things like, oh, I love the way your skin looks. That's like the biggest turn off. I hate it. I don't want, if anyone says that to me, it like kind of makes me cringe. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It makes me feel violated. I feel violated.
But I mean, that's a compliment, because, right? It should be a compliment essentially, right? Because having clear skin, or having skin that looks, that has a beautiful pigmentation. It can be white, it can be anybody, right? But their skin and a way to take care of their skin, people admire that, right? Like, skincare is a big thing. It's actually an industry. You know what I mean? So I think it's based on like your experiences that make you feel like, that turns me completely left if somebody does that. Because I don't think people are saying that to like offend you.
Yeah, I don't like that. No, I don't think they are saying it to offend me, but most men in the South that I've met, that's exactly what they mean. They mean what they said. It's because they like that I'm light. I was with someone that had children with someone who literally told me to my face that was one of the reasons why they dated me. Because I'm light and they would have lighter children. I was told that by many people. Yeah. Told that over and over again. It's not something that is unusual.
Man, I'm getting to know something different about Miss Polly. I did not know this. Like, literally, I did not know this at all. Damn. Okay. M3, what's good, baby? Let's get it.
What's up, Mr. Best? I had to step away for a minute, so I missed a good chunk of the conversation. But, from what Miss Polly was saying, I definitely kind of got a hint of it, that when it comes to like certain parts of colorism, that could definitely be a turnoff, because unfortunately most Negroes do look at skin color wherever you like. Light is bright, which may be right, but it's really not. But it's all good. Sometimes like they're wrong and they talk themselves away from getting the thong. But basically, I got my own little points, man, really? of black folks. Why it's so hard for people like us to really work together. I Miss Polly, don't be giggling too hard now, okay? But
why I get called out?
Hold on, I got a comment to Miss Polly too. I think also like when people say like, because I think like and this is what I've experienced, right? Like from going from East Coast to West Coast, like people would say certain things to me when I got to the West Coast, and I was like, "Yo, don't say that to me." But I only felt that way because in the East Coast, it wasn't a term of endearment. They were saying these things because of a certain reason. So when I got on the West Coast, people would kind of talk a certain way, or they would say the one thing they say in the West Coast is "no worries." I never liked that because it was like, "Yo, you're only saying no worries because you don't really want to deal with the issue. Don't tell me no worries. Like, talk to me about what really is going on." You know what I mean? But they didn't really mean any harm by it. They were just saying like, "Yo, don't be worried about it. It's all good." You know what I mean? We good. But I'd rather them say it's all good. That's what I'm used to hearing from the East Coast, right? We say it's all good. But they say no worries. So that would annoy me, right? But I had to learn how to speak their lingo. No, I'm being real. I had to learn how to speak their lingo. So once I learned how to speak their lingo, it made it a lot easier. You know what I mean? For me.
Yeah, no,
You know, so
I was laughing because they're okay. So like, so since I'm coming from the South, and I came here in the Midwest, and there's just a lot of respect. You say yes, ma'am, even to anyone who, even if they're like your age, you say yes, ma'am. They look like a young man. There's certain words you use. Sir. If you don't want to say sir, if they're still too young, you might say thank you, gentlemen, or whatever the hell. If I come here and I say like thank you, I was like yes, ma'am, or something like that to a younger lady who's like in her 20s, they get offended and they get mad. Like, don't call me ma'am. Like, what do you think you're like? They lose it. I've never seen you like, I'm just being nice to you. I'm just being respectful. They do not see it as a term of endearment. They see it as you're trying to tell them something about like you're trying to be a smart ass, basically. They don't not like it. But I still do it because I just don't care. But that's just me. Tell them that's what it is.
Come on, Miss. Hey, look. But see, Miss Polly, look, you're not being considerate. You're not being considerate of what they don't like, but you want to be considerate of what you like. Come on, Miss Polly. Come on, Miss Polly.
I tell them. I say, I'm from this place. This is how I show respect, and I'm not going to disrespect you. And if you feel any way about it, I'm sorry. Then don't speak to me. That's really easy.
Damn. Miss Polly getting gangster with this shit. Okay.
I mean, shoot, it's a workplace. It's not a friendship place. So, you don't got to be my friend.
Facts.
You can say, you don't got to say nothing to me. Just go about your life. You can walk around. You can work in the same place and not be rude and do your job, especially in that kind of workplace. There's one chick right now, like I really don't like to talk to her at all. I think she has a smart mouth. But when I engage with her, I'm polite. I'm not rude to her. If she needs something and she can't reach, I'm like, here you go. I go about my life. I do my job. It's just about respect. It's got nothing to do with me liking her, disliking her. I don't talk crap about her. It's none of my business. I don't know what she does in her free time. I mind my business, do my job, and go home. That's it.
Look, work or not, don't bother me. Plain period.
Yeah.
You're not my spouse, get out of my house. Exactly. Salute the Big Rig Slaps too. I see you in the building, Big Rig Slaps. I see you.
What's up?
I see you.
Salute to the far Wolf.
Hey man, y'all gotta be more considerate, man. Y'all gotta be more considerate. Miss Polly and them three, y'all gotta be more considerate, man. All right, you gotta take the best of the world consideration class. You know what I'm saying? Take my consideration class. Buy my tape. All right, buy my tape.
That is considerate. I said you walk by me. I said I said, oh, don't worry, thank you, miss. Yes, ma'am. You asked a question. You call my name. I said, yes, ma'am. That's respectful. Like we're like, no, I'm sorry.
Look. I already got my own class down running. Okay, and if you want to be a monster like me, a fierce warrior, go ahead and join my class as well too. All right. Look, we don't say please. We don't say thank you. We don't say I'm sorry. You take it as it is, and that's what it is, and you run with it. But yeah, But look, anyways, black folks, man, for centuries have always been having a hard time when it comes to working together. That's why I came up with a list. I think this is like pretty much 9 points, and I'll save the explanations for later, but we have communication barriers. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna dab into it real quick. Okay, because most folks may have different communication styles. All right. I'm gonna summarize it.
Okay.
All right. Next, we got a list, right? We have pretty much differences in perspectives. Okay. People have different backgrounds, different experiences. But the problem is, no matter what your experience is, everybody wants to be right for some reason. I don't know why. They come in this brainiac type of mode, trying to be politically correct. Well, goddamn it, your topic points is just stupid. But we have different backgrounds, so we still have to respect that. Now we have ego and personality clashes. Oh man, that's a huge one. Because everybody got like an ego every now and then. But sometimes you got to check that ego and learn how to work well with other people. What else we have? We have.
Can I touch on the ego and personality one real quick?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Listen, this is something I had to learn, right? It's something that I learned. Like, you know, because of my personality, sometimes, you know, I could be very, what they call that, extroverted, right? Or my personality can be. Some people have called me boisterous, right? But it is what it is, right? But at times I can be very introverted and quiet and read my books and listen to my jazz music. But that's a whole other situation. Now, with that being said, right? My thing is this, right? At the end of the day, what I've noticed is that sometimes, you know, I think personalities clash because of ego and pride, right? Because let's just say we're in a social setting and people are gravitating towards M3 more than they're gravitating towards me, right? I need to be like, yo, M3 got it rocking right now. Let me just follow his lead. Let me not F up the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say Miss Polly got it rocking socially, right? I need to let Miss Polly work in a social circle. She got it rocking. Me and M3, let's just follow her lead. Let her do her thing. And then, you know, we won't mess with the vibe. And then slowly but surely we be able to rock it. But we can't do that. It's like everybody got to be the man. Everybody got to be the top woman, the top G, right? You know what I mean?
Oh, G,
the boss B. You know what I mean? For the women and all that who like to call themselves that. The boss chick. You know what I'm saying? So because everybody want to be on top, you know what I mean? Who's going to be at the bottom? Somebody got to be at the bottom. Somebody got to be at the bottom. You know what I mean? So sometimes in social circles or even in social media, some people just got it more rocking at the moment. If I'm making content and my content is blowing everybody out the water, right? And I'm hot right now, I'm white hot, then my team follow the lead. M3 got it rocking, we follow his lead. Miss Polly get it rocking, we follow her lead. It's not hard. But you know what I mean? You got to go to the high hand. It's even in sports. You go to the high hand. You go to the person that got it going. That's just my perspective.
Let me add on to this part, right? Because I'm not trying to make this like, a man versus women thing or whatever. Everybody's right, everybody's wrong, okay, ladies? And remember, I'm on Pandora mode, so I need your money anyway. But here's the thing, okay? Women do say they want to lead, and they say they don't need our help, right? But what gets confusing is that when they're in the heat of fire, not only they want, but they demand and they expect for us to step in. After you told us, right, 5 seconds ago that you don't need our help. So what would it be? You don't need our help when it's not convenient for you? Or do you need our help when it's inconvenient for you? Let that marinate. But let me go ahead and jump to this, right? Because we also have people that have agendas too, which they call it competing goals and priorities. Okay? That's something that you also have to understand too, which maybe flat out, you just got to ask them like, look, okay, what is your motive? What is your reasoning? Why do you want to be a part of a team or organization or gain affiliation? What is your purpose? And what are you trying to get out of it? A lot of people don't really try to ask those questions because they're afraid of offending people. And yeah, people are in 2023 are extra sensitive, including the people in the chat as well too. I'm for sure y'all who's watching is very sensitive, so I gotta tread lightly sometimes. But the thing is, right? You gotta have those upfront questions because you may have an agenda that's not matching their agenda. And once you guys get close to the finish line and realize that we have two differences, it may not work at the very, very end. I'll just put it like that. Which also leads to trust issues. So raise your hand if you ever encounter someone that you just don't trust. But you try to work with that person. Even though you still don't trust him or her or they, okay? You just gotta tread lightly sometime and you gotta figure that person out. Big Red says, shout out to Miss Polly having good Wi-Fi tonight. Oh, yes, definitely. Salute to Miss Polly and her Wi-Fi.
Y'all out of pocket for that
one. Sometimes tech support just had to come in and get a proper solution, but yeah, there she go getting again. So yeah, shout out to her Wi-Fi. It's working tonight. But I'm gonna get the stuff out of the way because I got a few more. You have resource constraints, meaning that okay, people do have limited resources and they may not have the same resources that you have. So you're gonna have to work with those type of people. You know, if y'all don't really understand what I'm talking about, let's say you have abundance of networking, right? You have people that you could network and they could help kind of collab and do certain things that some other people may not have that ability or maybe have not have that type of pull. So you got to kind of meet where they're at, especially if you're willing to work with them. And maybe if that person you feel like is slowing you down, then you probably should not work with that individual. Okay. So number 7 is cultural differences, and 8 is lack of leadership or direction. Pretty much cultural differences. Oh, actually, I got one more. That would be a bonus one. But cultural differences is like, the people that be complaining about, I have a language barrier, right? So if you,
Oh, damn.
Sorry, I'm trying to get back to camera. So if you have a cultural difference, right? Most likely you're dealing with people that is out of the country, that really doesn't know certain jargons or slang. So you gotta learn how to really kind of communicate with that person. And Bigger says, if so, I would like some. Oh, something else. And also salutes to Miss Phoenix. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Lady Phoenix. Hey.
But yeah, you gotta be considerate. That those language barriers can lead to a ton of misunderstandings. Okay, lack of leadership or direction is basically you just coming in with no plan. Who the hell does that? You come into, something that maybe could benefit or change your life, but yet you have no plan or direction. Sometimes we wonder who be raising you little boys. But you want to make sure that you come prepared before anything. Write some notes down, like I did, and just be fully prepared with whatever that happens. And then the bonus one that will separate everything else is religion.
No, he didn't go there. No, he did not go there.
Yes, I went there. But yeah, but I don't need to explain about religion. I just said the word, you should already know. But yeah, that was my 9 little talking points that I could say that really messes up when it comes to why Black people cannot work together, man. You got a lot of obstacles that we got to deal with. Oh, Miss Polly's quiet, sucking her thumb, huh? You gotta unmute yourself.
I was not sucking my thumb, sir. Yeah. What? I was taking that in. Listen, I have guests over today, and they're entertaining me quietly as you're talking. So I'm listening to you. They're commenting. It's great.
Okay, good. Out of the things that I listed, what stands out to you the most?
I will say the part that stood out to me the most. If I had to pick it in order of which ones I think that are really the most valid. Um, I do want to say religion probably plays a good part of that because a lot of people are starting to transition too between being Christian to going back and trying to find religion in other forms. Even I've seen a lot of Black people start going towards Wicca actually, which is confusing. But they're just kind of and some don't want to believe in anything. So you have people who are very, very traditional because of their Christian ways. Then you have some people who are just like, I don't want to do that anymore. That's a white god, and then they say F it. I think that could be one reason. And then the other one, which you were saying, this constant competition where you can't even lift each other up. Hey, Marcus, lift each other up. Like you said, like once one person is enjoying, the moment that they actually achieve something, someone's right there to try to, tear it from them or knock them off. There's no unit. We're just not unified like that. We weren't. I'll tell you. I think it goes all the way back to in the slave days. We were shown not to unite because that was always a bad thing. If we were united in any form, it was negative. It was always negative, and that is shown even today. Any uniting of Black people is not good. And that's what it's looked at. Like, we get together, things don't go right, we're arguing, fighting, and someone always thinks someone's out to get them or someone trying to do them dirty, and then they want to protect themselves, so then they are standoffish or they start doing the same behaviors. There's no unification at all. So I think those are the ones that kind of stand out to me the most.
M3, you muted.
Oh,
yeah. See, I'm not the only one.
Oh, okay. Well, Riggs had a question. He says, "Were the slaves already here?"
When? What?
That's what he asked.
He's gonna ask crazy questions.
Yes, it is a dead silence, Riggs. Let's see. Marcus says, "As long as Polly don't suck at that thumb, LL, I'll keep watching."
Forget you, Marcus. Forget you.
Oh, you know what? I'm just now catching up to why they made the Kool-Aid comment, right? Because I wasn't even paying attention. He was drinking Kool-Aid, so I saw the Kool-Aid.
I was Crystal Light. I don't drink Kool-Aid. I do not drink Kool-Aid. That's all sugar. Y'all know I ain't gonna drink that.
Hey, Crystal Light still tastes the same like Kool-Aid. All right.
It does not. Did you really say that? You know that's not true. It's not true at all. Listen, this is a way to get your water intake in. I think it's a great way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have our thing M3. We're gonna be talking about the pre-workout I purchased. The thermal, and talk about all the ways to make ourselves better, health and fly. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Because health is the ultimate wealth, but then some people may also disagree to that too. But
who said that?
Look, I'm not name dropping.
They ain't gonna be around too long.
We gotta go find them. They need a whole conversation. Wait a minute. We're gonna dedicate the whole lives to them, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm. I feel you. Mr. Best, what you got so far?
No, I mean, I know Riggs had a question. What was the question that Riggs had?
He's talking about like slave ships and stuff.
He said, "Were the slaves over here?" I think. Wasn't he talking about? If he's talking about Indians or something, listen, ain't nobody trying to play that game. Who was here first? Okay, we ain't doing that today.
No, I don't know. Riggs need to come up so he can clarify. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and post the link, right? So people come up. Yeah, Riggs, clarify, man. Don't be scared though. We need to hear your voice anyway. And then Phoenix says, "I have a so-called biological sister who has a kid by my dad, my daughter's dad. By my
Wait,
daughter's dad.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Huh?
I have a so-called biological, a so-called biological sister who has a kid by my daughter.
That blinking ain't hiding your face, Miss Polly. If you're trying to hide your face, you may want to put the blanket all the way across your face.
No, I was taking it in. I was trying to visualize that tree.
He said, "Nah, you missing it. You gotta come up so we could." Oh, there we go. What up, Riggs?
Hey, what's good? What's good, man?
Big Rick Slice, what up, baby?
What's good? What's good, man?
Yeah, salute to you, my brother.
Big Riggs, big brother. You know what it is.
Right. Thank you for mustering up the courage to come up to the panel, Riggs. You know.
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Might as well. You know, it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah.
Seems safe.
Don't worry, like the boogie woman is not around, so Lola.
Not yet. She coming though. She coming. She'll be here.
Nah, I'm not trying to derail anything, but y'all brought up the slaves, right? So I wasn't talking about like no Indian slaves or nothing. I'm talking about black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of seen some things that had me kind of like questioning a few things because yes, we do see the what was that plantations, you know what I'm saying? We got proof of that. We seen the plantations, we seen you know where the slaves was, so that's all a fact, right? But I've never seen a slave ship, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen any they never showed any pieces of a slave ship or any of that. And then, you know, for a ship to travel, you know, from Africa, you know, that far with no motor, you know, with all those people, you know what I'm saying, all the way, you know, out to this way or whatever, it just seems like a hell of a story, you know what I'm saying? Now, I know there had to be some type of black people or something already here, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they just all just came from Africa. I think we were everywhere kind of pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a question like, you know, if you, you know, of course you believe that, you know, there were slaves, but do you really believe in the whole slave ship thing and the whole like, you know, like how they got here? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see what you mean. Well, here's my hypothesis of this, right? Because since like I don't have like no pictures or whatever, and most of the stuff can be hand drawn, what if like it wasn't like
and the conditions M3, like I don't mean to stop you, but if you remember the conditions and everything they used to talk about on these ships, bro, like and these were some long trips, bro. You know what I mean? Now, I would think you would have lost a lot of people, not just, you know, whatever percentage they must have said, but I mean, you know, with all that stuff going on and like, you know, I'm just saying, but go ahead.
Most would say like, you know, some of them like jumped off from the ship and drowned because they rather like just pretty much delete themselves than to like, you know, be stuck as a slave. But then it's like, you know, there's pictures where the slave ships, once they capture most of them, they're in chains, but they also force them to roll the ships. But the way how they roll the ships, because it's a big ship, like, okay, I guess you have to roll it, and then you have the captain that steers. But my thing is,
them waters M3, come on, man, them waters, bro. You didn't see, seen them fishing things, them fishing programs.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get to my point though, right?
Go ahead.
It may not be like, you know, traveling like across like the sea. It probably just be traveling across the land. You know what I mean? Because you did say, right, that there's some that may not just originally came from Africa. And most of the movies that you see, you don't see slaves getting off the ships from the movies. You see slaves already in cages traveling through horses on land. So
that's it, bro. Come on now. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. So like I've always heard about the whole slave ship thing and the conditions, but then I've also been hearing a whole different thing, bro. And kind of how you just spit that, it's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like they got all this proof of all these other things, you know. So I know the cotton fields, all I know, bro. But I ain't seen no damn ship, man. You know what I'm saying? And these so-called ships or whatever, I would think there would be at least one. you know what I'm saying, somewhere that they could have, you know, kept or something or whatever, you know what I mean?
Of
And
course.
there's just nothing, bro. You know, it was just funny, and just y'all brought that up, so that's why I said that. And Miss Polly, I was just saying I wasn't talking about Indian people, I was talking about, you know, black people, just period. So I wanted to clarify that. But what do you think though, Miss Polly? You know what I'm saying? I heard what M3 said. What you think?
Yes, they do have some ships they show, but it is very plausible. Just like how the Europeans got here. Yeah, it took months and months for them to get here, but they got here. They lost people on the way, but it's very, very plausible that yes, they could get on a boat and be on that for 6 to 8 months, and it just take a long time to get here. Or were they the same little rinky dinks? No, obviously they were ships, you know. I think they have done some recreation, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to speak on some that, but I have seen the actual diagrams of where they, you know, depicted what it looks like and who's on there, and it is there's people on it who are taking care of it, a crew. So I mean, it's very, very plausible that
drawings though, like M3 said, drawings.
I mean, no, I said I don't know. I believe there are some. I don't want to preach to you and say something I'm not definite on. I mean, I could do some looking and let you know later. But you know, when you're like, it's okay. So for example, there are different streams and stuff to go back the other way, to go through Asia. You know, you can go from Russia all the way around and come to America also. So I mean, there's different ways to get here. They don't have to all be that way. But obviously, the quickest way would be through water, through, you know, the Atlantic. So that would make more sense to just go straight across. I mean, that's why we got the Titanic. So like things like that. If you're thinking that, it's not
the Titanic was the Titanic was more of a made ship, like with motor type. That was like a while after.
Right, but that also was during the time where in those boats they were meant for leisure. So if you took out all the leisure and all the pumps and the fat, it was supposed to get you there in like a week or something. I'm not a week. It was supposed to get you there in a couple weeks. So that, see the advancement. So what was it looking like prior to that when the, you know, Irishmen came here, when the Scottishmen came here, when, you know, Englishmen were coming here? What did that look like? It could very plausible be the same situation. It's just that you just, instead of putting cargo at the bottom, you're putting bodies. That's
right,
very,
but
very
was there cargo ships though back then? You see what I'm saying? Like, so you got to go back to the time. If you start going back to the time and everything, you'll be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you had
okay, well, that's like saying pirate ships, though, right? Where's the pirate ships? Right?
Yeah, they have pirate ships. They got pirate ships, and I'm very sure of that.
So they got actual pirate ships that they've had to where they had visual pictures and everything of a pirate ship.
Under the water, there's half sunken ones, and they're under the water, and they're down in Florida. You can go on tours and everything.
Okay.
So that is there.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool too, actually, to see the boats that are under there. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah. Hold on, let me welcome Queen Forever 2K. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, Queen. Queen, you there?
You.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Queen, let me build real quick before you rock out. Let me build real quick. I'm gonna say this to Rick's question, right? I think Rick definitely got a point because technology, right? You know what I mean? How, you know, the technology they had for the ships, like how could it really hold those people, right? And the weather conditions change. So if you're going from Africa to you going to America, like the weather conditions is vastly different. That's different climate. And you know, once the climate changes and you're not used to that climate, you're gonna get sick most of the time. You know what I mean? And they didn't have the resources in order to keep, you know, the slaves healthy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's not possible. So I think to Ms. Polly's point, yeah, there probably is a lot of artifacts and things of that nature, but it is kind of fishy though. You know what I mean? Shout out to the other half of Easily Rigged, B-Eazy Dat Dude. What's good, baby? I see you in the building.
What
You know
up, B-Eazy? Come up too.
Tuesday nights, man. Tuesday nights.
Hold on for a second, Mr. Best. B-Eazy, come up and represent your brother, man. We gotta bring the 4 Easily Rigs in the building.
So Riggs, ask Queen your question.
Oh, shut up.
About the slave ships.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Queen. So we have proof, right? That we had slaves, from the plantations, from where the slaves lived on the plantations. We have actual visual proof of that. But I was just saying, we could have already had black people here. You know what I'm saying? And if we're gonna talk about them getting, black people from Africa and on these ships, where is the proof of these ships? And then for these ships to travel that distance like that, with no motors, you know what I'm saying? Big ships with all these people on there, with the weather conditions. And what I mean by the weather conditions, like you could look at like that show, like The Deadliest Catch. You know what I'm saying? And those are boats with motors and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So they had to kind of endure that type of environment. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case on the slave ship. So my question is if you believe that they did come here on slave ships, where are the slave ships and the proof of the slave ships?
This question is posed for what purpose?
He's asking where the slave ships, like where's the proof of the slave ships
Well,
exist?
they're around it said that a lot of them sunk. They were shipwrecked, like they didn't make it. So, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we have questions to invalidate. I don't know. I'm not talking about you in particular, but I just feel like we're always trying to invalidate something. How did the pyramids get built? They had no tools, but the pyramids are there, right? How does they use what they have during the time? I mean, people are smart. I mean, it doesn't matter when it was or it not having a motor. People built. Look at Little House on the Prairie. I mean, that show. They didn't really have any major tools, but they built houses and they built wagons. So, I mean, are you going to question that too? I don't know.
There's proof of that.
Yeah, and that's way after slavery though, too, Queen. I mean,
yeah, there's proof of that. And like I said, I'm not discrediting anything of the slave because there's proof that there was slaves. There's proof of plantations. There's proof of where they lived. There's proof of all of that. I'm not discrediting that. The only thing that I'm just asking as a question is if you believe that they came from Africa on a slave ship, where is the proof of that? And if you're saying that what you feel is the proof is that they wrecked or whatever, been damaged, then hey, that's cool. But I'm just saying usually they always have some type of something for history. Usually, you know what I'm saying, to be like, hey, this happened and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But they also have replicas of slaves underwater because they found bodies. So you want to go scuba dive and look at them? So they have replicas of bodies underneath water because that's where they found their bodies at.
Well, okay. Can I say this real quick?
Go ahead.
Chase Bank used to insure. They were one of the biggest insurance holders for slave ships. That's how Chase Bank got started. So if you want to say, well, we don't know where the slave ships are. We know where the manifests are. We know where the insurance policies are for those ships and the cargo on them. And we do understand that when they had to lose cargo because it was too much, that like for instance, like you guys said, when the weather conditions wasn't really right and they went out there on those slave ships and they had to throw people off so that they could make sure they made it home and stuff because of the weight on the ship, they had to pay Chase Bank for that because that was insured.
Lola, you saying Chase Bank had something to do with the making of slave ships? hey, you guys, hey.
Okay, let me say this, right. If y'all listen closely, right, I didn't say Chase Bank created slave ships.
Come back, Riggs.
Like keep up with the conversation, yeah. What I said is Chase Bank was one of the biggest, if not the only, insurance policy holder for those slave ships, and the manifest on them, they have those still on record. Meaning that when those ships came in, they had to give an account of what was on that ship and what was in that ship, so that those people could make their money back. And when you throw cargo, live cargo, people over the side because you need to make it home so the ship won't sink, right now that's called you're throwing away your insurance money. And Chase Bank would make money if slave ships came in and that manifest didn't say what was supposed to be on it. This is why they didn't like throwing slaves overboard, but they had to, because you had to make it back to make any money off of that ship. It's rather you lose half the cargo than all the cargo. This is what was happening. So if you want to say, well, we don't see slave ships anymore, there's a slave ship right now parked downtown Baltimore at the harbor. It's been down there since I've been alive, since my father has been alive. Okay, it's a relic ship right down there at the harbor. So I wish somebody would. But at the end of the day, even if all the ships sank and we don't use them anymore, and they're under, they just been destroyed, the records for those manifests are still alive and doing well in museums and in back archives. So it's like, if you want to say, well, I don't have proof that slave ships are here, but I got proof of what they brought was here. It's like, come on now, let's not do that. Let's not indulge in that, because that right there is willful ignorance. It's like, you could look at black people's religious leanings over here and tell that shit's straight from West Africa. When you look at Cuba, when you look at the Caribbean, and you see how they're religious over there, they tell you that their religion came from slaves that came from Africa. How do you think them Africans got there? Like, seriously, like, and it wasn't their pre-colonial Europe. That's what that was. And it's like, even when you look at the Native Americans, like, they tell you that some people showed up on ships carrying what they call dragons, i.e. horses, that was not indigenous to the Americas. So it's like we got all sorts of records of people on ships coming to the Americas, but somehow we want to doubt that ships came to the Americas. Like, come on, like, let's just be honest. Like, y'all just don't want to accept the truth of the matter. And it's like, I don't understand why does it matter? Like, can somebody explain that?
Well, Riggs would probably be the best candidate to explain, but he easily ran. So
he's coming back. He's coming back. But I think, yeah, y'all funny, man. I'm trying to put that, but I can't, man. I can't. Look, man, look, let me tell you something. Look, this is why we have these conversations. We're not always gonna see eye to eye, y'all. Like, it is what it is. It's a lot of us. I mean, we like the goddamn Wu-Tang Clan. You think Wu-Tang Clan always got along? No, they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They didn't always get along, but they was a team. So we a team, like, you know what I mean? Share your perspective, share your view. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. But no, I do believe that. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying because the first thing he said was, Lola, are you telling me that Chase Bank made slave ships? And it's like, I never said that. Like, I really never said that. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. I bank with Chase Bank. I've done the research on Chase Bank. I minored in anthropology in college, so I know a little bit about the human experience through time, especially here in the Americas. So it's like, and here's the thing: where slave ships was built was right downtown in Baltimore. Now, let me tell you something, right? The companies that used to build those slave ships, the relics of where their buildings used to be at is still at the harbor, though. You can still drive through South Baltimore and see where they used to make the ships in those old buildings. The ground is still there where you can see they used to build ships right there.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
So it says that some of the ships were burnt on arrival to hide evidence of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
It says that there are DNA that Clotilda, which was sunk in the Mobile River in Alabama in 1860 after it arrived from West Africa carrying 110 enslaved people. So however many people they put on that boat, only 110 survived. So I mean, come on, like where are we going with this? I understand we have questions, but sometimes I feel like these questions are just a shit. We're taking shits on our ancestors because at the end of the day, none of us would be here without them. And I'm just so tired of it. We have no respect for the people who came before us, did what they did. We make fun of them, we joke about them, and we mock them. No other culture does this but us. We are the clowns. And this what gets me, because at the end of the day, we're the ones still behind the 8 ball in every area in life. I don't care what nobody says. So this is what bothers me. We ask these questions and we know the answer to them, but it's almost like we're making fun of it. We're making light of it. Would you want someone to make light or fun of what you've been through and say, oh, how can you prove that? And we're, blah, blah, blah. Come on. Like, let's have intelligent conversations. And I'm not taking no digs at nobody in particular. A question is a question. But when you get an answer, I don't know. I just feel like we got to do better. We got to do better. And this is the problem. This is why we still where we are. And we still have these dumb conversations. Because we don't respect what anybody did before us. Because we couldn't even hold a candle to any of our ancestors. Even the little kids. The little girl who went to school and was spit at, thrown shit at, a 6-year-old. None of us could go through what she went through. So we always want to make fun of it. Whatever. I digress. Let the next question.
Oh. Matter of fact, salute to Auntie. Good to see you in the building, brother. You know what I mean?
Salute.
But before we continue, you know what I mean? I think we gotta definitely set the moment straight. You know what I mean? So so this is a salute to my homie that asked the question. Let's get it.
Hold on. If it's up, then it's stuck, man.
Y'all gotta hold on. The man just asked a simple question. It's like if somebody asks, is the earth round or flat? Just a simple question. There's no reason to even get in your feels about it. It's just a normal question.
Oh, wait, Mr. Best. You forgot to play this one.
One question led to a whole bunch of anger and hostility. Come on, man.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Don't mock me.
Damn.
We're not mocking you, Queen.
Y'all only play that after certain people say stuff. Don't do that. That ain't cool.
This is not about you. We're not mocking you, though.
I'm not mocking nobody. I'm actually just telling you to calm down a little bit. Just calm down. He just was asking a simple question. He wasn't mocking nobody. He was asking a simple question. And these are things that we need to ask. We need to ask more questions. One of my best teachers, one of my science teachers, Mr. Rose, shout out to him. He told me, young man, he said, I believe that you have a lot of potential. I even believe that you're a genius. He said, the one thing I always want you to do in life, always ask the question, why? You always ask why. You always ask questions. Because if you don't ask questions, you're not going to get to the truth. Imagine if we never ask questions. We will always just be in a box. And I know, Queen, sometimes, you like to do things traditionally, and I respect it. You know I do. But sometimes you got to get a little modern and you got to ask questions. You got to ask these questions. But salute to Auntie, man. I'm glad he up here. You know what I mean? Let Auntie rock on M3.
I think I guess y'all have been live for a minute now, so the original topic, maybe y'all pivoted. I kind of just wanted to add in with just what I saw in the title.
Go ahead.
And everything. Yeah. As far as why Black folks can't work together, like, look, I've experienced this in just business alone. People have been willing to turn down working for me for $1,500, $2,000 a week just to go work for some white dude for a quarter of that. Just because, you know what I'm saying, it's like, damn, this is just too good to be true. Or, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reason, they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, like most Black folks don't want to be under another Black dude. or even women for whatever reason. I don't know. I think maybe it's because maybe society and history or whatever has wired us to kind of compete with each other. You know what I'm saying? Instead of working together. And then on top of that, I guess, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, most of us haven't been raised with that type of, you know what I'm saying, just infrastructure to be able to institute teamwork, you know what I'm saying, and something that's bigger than each one of us individually. So we kind of groomed to kind of move as individuals rather than as a team, if that makes sense. You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody else got anything to add into it? And thank you for pivoting back into the subject, because we're still talking about why it's hard for people us to continue to work together, but the conversation did get a little derailed when when Riggs was talking about like slave stuff or whatever, but it was an honest question, because
You could ask Auntie the question. You know what I mean?
about
I'm
the slave
listening.
stuff. No, I'm not going to get back into the slave topic again. But what I will add on to this though, right? Like, people got to be open minded when it comes to having, and I'm not talking about like the slave ship conversation in specifics, but when we're having these open dialogue and conversations, like, there's always going to be a difference, of opinion, a difference between what you're thinking, what is right, what is wrong, whatever. And I think folks gotta embrace it and actually have these type of convos. Like I said, I pretty much provide a whole list earlier NT, but it's just what it is. So I was just pretty much adding my own spill into why black folks have a hard time. I think overall is trust and having negative experiences, but then also too not knowing your history and how important it is, right, when we're together and we're united as people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know this topic came up probably a few weeks ago on a panel. I think the reason why black folks can't work together is the same reason why black folks don't advocate for having their own police force and things like that. For the most part, I don't think we really, as a people, as an entire demographic, don't really see each other or ourselves as leaders. Unfortunately, that's something that's going to have to change in order to get ourselves off, you know what I'm saying, from the bottom of the totem pole. So nobody wants to take leadership and guidance. I mean, you see it between just the men and the women. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, women and women going through the same things, men and men are going through the same things. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, just like I guess you just said it, Mario. Black folks just don't trust each other.
Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's the end all
We
be
don't-
all.
We don't trust each other until we need each other, and that's the problem. You want to walk in solidarity when it benefits you, not when it doesn't, and that's the problem.
Well, yeah,
that's the problem. Half the stuff our forefathers didn't benefit just them. It benefited their children, their children's children, and their children's children's children, and they didn't think about it. They didn't care. They just did it. And that's the problem. Everybody moves individually until they need you. So, and that's the problem. We're always in competition with each other. And we will never get anywhere. That's the one thing every other culture got on us on lock. They move together. You mess with one of them, you mess with every one of them, even if they don't like each other, even if they don't trust each other. You will never know that, because they don't give you that information. They're not on here dragging each other. They're not on social media talking about each other. They got businesses together. That's what we do. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's deeper than just, you know what I'm saying, social media. It's just really deep. But you hit the nail right on the head. It's tough. A lot of us didn't grow up with infrastructure, hierarchy, you know what I'm saying, and just understanding the order of operations or chain of command. You know You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, look, our infrastructure is so messed up. That's why I tell everybody, as far as black folks are concerned, and it sucks, and I know people don't want to hear it, but the change that we want to see, most of us ain't gonna live to see it. You know what I'm saying? So many things that are messed up. You even got elders that aren't ready to take their roles as you know what I'm saying, as elders. You know what I'm saying? They still want to be out in front. Nobody wants to relinquish anything. You see it on every level, from business to the church, you know what I'm saying, to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you see when you see other demographics? Once they turn a certain age and the kids turn a certain age, you know what I'm saying, they turn 20, 25 years old. That's it. You got the business. Y'all handle that. You in charge now. What do we see? You know what I'm saying? In the church, you know what I'm saying? The pastor's up there till he dies. You know what I'm saying? Until he dies. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody trying to relinquish that. You're not trying to really train anybody to take it. Everybody wants to be out in front. Everybody wants to be the man. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. If that, you know what I'm saying, kind of sums it up a little bit.
This conversation was inspired from something I was watching on TV. I can't remember specifically, and I'm trying to draw it. I'm trying to let it get so back in my brain of what I was watching. But from the gist of it, what I was watching, it was about it was somebody who was actually in the limelight, and they were doing very well, and people was just saying the most disparaging things about them. And I was sitting there, and I'm like, oh no, I know what I was watching. I was watching this this YouTube video by this content creator, and he had these rappers on there, and these rappers were talking about why, you know, everybody needs to go and be their own man or whatever. And I was like, yo, I'm like, why we got that mindset? But the Rolling Stones been going on tour since my grandparents was in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? Aerosmith been going on tour. All these people been going on tour. But we can't even keep our thing together. But yeah, they keep their thing together until they're not here no more. Like, why is it that we just can't work together? You know what I'm saying? You got all these historical groups, all these historical people, you know what I'm saying, getting together, doing things, and yet we as a people cannot stick together. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? How they can put out album after album, concert after concert, touring worldwide. We can't even we can't even go to 10 cities. We go to 10 cities, somebody that got drunk, somebody that got arrested. You know what I mean? Somebody mad because somebody singing more than the other person. I'm like, God dang, like, y'all got the same songs. What y'all getting upset for? You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Hey, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, it's so many different things. Like I was mentioning earlier, I think one problem is there's no transition. You know what I'm saying? There's no peaceful transition of power. Like there's no rite of passage within our culture. You know what I'm saying? You got, you know what I'm saying, the small hats, they boys have bar mitzvahs. You know what I'm saying? They do that. There's a certain rite of passage that they have in the manhood. They, you know what I'm saying, send them back to, you know what I'm saying, they send them to Israel, let them get, you know what I'm saying, in touch with their culture, you know, things like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Caucasians in America, you know what I'm saying, for the most part, they got generational wealth that they're going to pass down. Kids got trust funds, college funds, you know what I'm saying? They're set up. And it's not even just wealth. It's really just, in America, it's the ability to be able to make a mistake, maybe even 2 or 3, and it not ruin your life, because human beings are going to make mistakes. But unfortunately, in our demographic, you know what I'm saying, people don't really plan ahead, and you make one mistake, your life is over. That's the situation that most of our boys and our girls are in. You know what I'm saying? From a young age, and we need to just put our kids in position to our kids and those around us in position to be able to make a couple mistakes, because that's the only way you're going to be able to come up, is you're going to have to take risks, and some are not going to pay off, but you should at least be able to learn from them. We got to learn from behind, you know what I'm saying, from behind bars. Like that's though, you know what I'm saying, by the time we learn from something, we got to go through, you know what I'm saying, federal rehabilitation, or, you know what I'm saying, boom, you got kids and all types of other stuff. Like life is over, like life changes as you know it. You know what I'm saying? Them people, hey, they're set up, you know what I'm saying? They have the support system, the backing, and I'm not going to be too long-winded with this, but you know what I'm saying? I've seen even in Middle Eastern communities where it's like, look, they don't make any decisions without discussing that as a family. Like for real. Like, I can't buy a house without discussing that with my brother, my sister, my mother, my father, and my uncle. And usually the conversation is going to be, well, you can't get a house because him and her ain't got one. So here's the deal. We all going to pool that money together. We're going to get a business and we're going to get 3 houses. You know what I'm saying? Like, all 3 of y'all supposed to have houses. If one comes up, everybody's got to come up. Those are the discussions that they have. But instead, us as people, it's like, nah, I'm going to get my house first so I can shine on you. It's a different mentality we have.
Right. Which, well, let me ask you this question, Auntie, right? Do you think that Black folks are trying to take notes with other nationalities? How to, like, when it comes to, like, you know, how to survive together, how to work together, creating like contingency plans? Because it seems like what I'm seeing, right, is that, and this goes back to what Queen was saying. We, as I'm paraphrasing it, it's like we don't work together until like we need each other. But when we do need each other, it's not really for righteous type of reasons. Like an example, Black folks will only get together if some other nationality or race outside of us deletes one of our people. But no one rallies up together when our own kind is deleting each other. So it's like, where's that same type of energy? You know? So my thing is that, like, okay, whether when it comes to your own people backstabbing you behind your back just to try to make a come up, as opposed to maybe a white person or a Mexican person getting into a certain position and now they're bringing you up with them. Do you think like we need to start like taking notes from these people to learn how to, like, you know, act right, or what?
Okay, so here's the deal. Of course, we definitely need to be taking notes, but we don't need to try to emulate one culture. We need to be trying to take notes from a lot of established cultures in order to be able to create our own. We're not, as Black folks or any demographic, we're not going to be able to emulate anybody else's culture because we don't have everybody else's history. Our history is unique to us. You know what I'm saying? So we can try to emulate the Asians. We can try to emulate the small hats. We can try to emulate, you know what I'm saying, what LGBT is doing. We try to emulate what all of those demographics are doing, but we're unlikely to get the same results because we're not in the same situations that they're in. We don't have the same history, but are there bits and pieces from their culture that we can take and incorporate it into our own to try to have an established culture? Because everybody says like we have a culture. I respectfully disagree. You know what I'm saying? I think the reason why it's not that there aren't things that are unique to us. It's just that there are a lot of things that we consider our culture that aren't uniform amongst most Black households. You know what I'm saying? The things that I'm teaching my children and what I hold near, dear, true, and important, morally, my principles, all of that is likely not the same thing that my next door neighbor, you know what I'm saying, does. Like they live a totally different way. That's something that we need to change. We're going to have to start living the same, not living, but just pretty much moving the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like Spartans in lockstep scan. There's got to be certain, just like Miss Queen said earlier, there's got to be things that we won't do. There's got to be things that we will do. And there's got to be things that under no circumstances we will not tolerate. So instead of everybody, I'm like, forget getting up and tripping when another race deletes us and then tripping if we delete ourselves. Why don't we get together and instead of tripping about it, let's try to avoid it. Let's come up with some damn solutions. Are we going to start funding our police forces? Are we going to get together and damn marching? Let's do everything that we can to just make sure that this doesn't happen in our communities no more. If anybody deletes one of our own, whether it's one of our own or an outsider, they know they got hell to pay, so they ain't going to come in here and do that.
And this is the problem. You know, just because you're successful, that doesn't mean another part of the culture is failing. This is the problem. You get a few pennies in your pocket and then you think you're better than some people. Yes, there always are people in different cultures who are just not going to do what you say to do. But that's not cool. This is the problem. Our mindset. We think we're above it. Because at the end of the day, if you piss that culture off good enough, guess what you're gonna be called? The same thing I'm gonna be called, no matter how much money you got in your pocket. So let's not get it twisted. They called the president's wife a monkey. So what you think you're gonna be called? Come on, no respect. That's the problem. So if we do it to ourselves, what you think they're gonna do to us? And that's my thing. We having all these conversations. Oh, black women don't wanna submit, so we gonna go overseas and get us a submissive woman. We gonna go over here, but you still taking who you are. So instead of looking at why black women won't submit, look at why they not submitting to you, chump. So let's keep it real. That's the problem. We're having a conversation about why black people can't get along, and we're talking about whether slave ships were made. But anyway,
y'all you on that again? Hold on. Salute to OG Patrice. OG Patrice, can you do us a favor, OG? OG, can you hold on? OG, can you kind of lead the conversation for a bit? The topic is why can't black people work together? Can you lead the topic for a little bit and just share your talking points and interact with Queen and Auntie for a minute? Me and them three on the call real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll be right back. And OG Patrice, good to see you again, man.
Salute,
OG Patrice, I'm gonna send you a news article. There's a family in Mississippi that got over 40 acres and plus due to being in slavery on that plantation, and they doing amazing things with this land. So okay. I thought about you when I saw the article. I printed it out, and I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Please do.
Yes.
How y'all doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm a little triggered.
I know. I hear you, sis.
But I'm just like, we're talking about why black people can't get along, and we're having a conversation about whether slave ships really happened and did they really make it, and how they make it if there's no motor. That's a slap in the face.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's a slap in the face.
Do they know that?
Anybody question the Holocaust?
No. Yeah.
No.
Are these these are people that look like us that are questioning these things, aren't they?
We make fun of our ancestors every day, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, some of our ancestors are the ones that made the pyramids, and they still trying to figure that out right to this day. You know, we had so many from even your ancestors that were very, very inventive, that were very, very intuitive, that were very, very intelligent, that did so many wonderful things. And it definitely is saddened when we don't even give our own ancestors the credit for the things that they did that helped benefit us now that we're here, being born generation to generation. And y'all know me, I came in these YouTube streets, on a mission, for our people and to educate our people about so many things. But this is the one thing that my sister soldier said, and I never forget it. The last time I saw her, hear her speak, and she said, that's why she gave up and became an author and started writing books. Black people are the worst. They will wear you the fuck out. And they will do you like you fighting against them more than you fighting against WS. Like, for real. Y'all know what I mean when I say WS. Y'all know what that stands for. You have to fight your own first, the hardest, before you can even get to them to try to deal with that fight. And our sister got tired, and she started writing books, bestseller author, smartest thing she ever did. And it is. That's why I fall back a lot. That's why I have fallen back a lot. I still do things, with organizations I'm involved with, ADOS and different things, and the Black Agenda coming up in April. I still do things low key, and I don't talk about it as much as I used to on here, because of the vitriol that you get back from your own people. And sometimes you just have to step back from it, and it wears you out and it angers you. And I feel and hear your righteous indignation, Queen. That was me when I first came in these YouTube streets 2 years ago. And you just have to pull back, because we are our own worst enemy. We don't even realize that
they did a number on us that is still haunting us right to this day, generation to generation. That is why we cannot work together. That is why we cannot live together half of the time. That's why our relationships and marriages are in shambles. That's why the gender wars are going on. That's why all of the beefs are going on, is because we are our own worst enemy and we just don't get it. We don't get the fact that when we look at and see our own brothers and sisters in different shades of brown that looks like us, we don't get that we're, in a sense, indirectly, we're hurting ourselves continuously. And there's such a deep rooted hate for self. And we express that to each other. That is the biggest reason. And jealousy and envy. Because like this brother said, yes, we can take certain things from certain races of people when it comes to business ideas and models that they portray to be successful. But guess what we do when we do that? We don't do like a lot of the Hispanic and Arabs do. They start one corner store. They make money and then they open a store for cousin and for auntie and for uncle and for sister and for brother. We don't do that. We get our one store. We get our one store. We ain't extending the hand to help the brother.
Don't forget that store got living quarters too.
So yes, living quarters, because we all live in right. We living together, and the cousin live upstairs, the one live in the back. And see, and now we sending for Jesus and all of them to come over from Mexico. And now we opening up a second corner store 3 blocks away, and now we starting to change. We don't do that. See, listen. Let me tell you, I even came to my own family. I said, come on, y'all, let's do this business. I said this to my brothers who got way more money than I got, right? And they're successful. I said, let's start this one thing right here, this business, and then we can eventually open up another and start a chain so we can have generational wealth to pass down to our children and our children's children. But I'm telling you, it's the mindset of our people. And sometimes it's your own family member. I couldn't even get them to do that. And then don't get me wrong. If you want to do your own thing, that's cool. Just say that. Do your own thing. But that is the mindset of us. We're individuals. We're too into individualism instead of how can I help my brother or my sister? How can I help my cousin who got this vision, that is a mastermind when it comes to numbers, that is a mastermind when it comes to computers, that is a mastermind when it comes to marketing and advertising, that we don't use each other's expertises to help the family with generational wealth. We don't do that as a people. So we damn sure we finna try to do it with each other.
Yeah, and it's not just the helping like your physical, your blood family or anything like that. I heard I read an article a few years ago from some Asian tycoon, and a black dude asked him like, yo, how come you don't like black people? Because I don't really see you hiring black people, for your business, And he said straight up, he's like, look, it's not that I don't like black people. I don't have an issue with black people. It's that I primarily hire Asians because I want to see my fellow Asian man do well. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing well. I want him to do well. I want his children to do well. I want his family to do well. I want somebody, I want to be able to open the same doors that somebody was able to open for me. And another Asian did that for me, so I'm going to do that for another Asian. It's not that I don't like black people. I'm just looking out for my own people as well, because my own people are those that are going to look out for me. But you can even tell by the mentality of the guy asking him that question. It's like you assuming that he's assuming that this dude doesn't like him and is really triggered by it just because he's helping out his own people. It's like, because I'm helping my own people doesn't mean that I don't like you. It means that I'm just looking out for my own first. So exactly. I think that's something that we need to do. Just like you said, and I said, I've seen it. People will throw their own businesses away, and like you have the opportunity to get in on the ground level. If OG Patrice is starting up a business and she needs my expertise to help, like I can get a percentage of the business or whatever and be there on the ground level. We can build something big. Why would I turn that down to go work for somebody else? You understand what I'm saying? There's a chance like we can build something and actually have our own real generational wealth. But a lot of people will not, a lot of black folks will not do that because they don't trust other black folks and their vision. They either feel as though, look, this person's going to stab me in the back, or they just don't know what they're doing because I've never seen a black person before that really knew what they was doing, or whatever. Or then again, you know, maybe me and this person gonna fall out. I just feel more comfortable working for this white dude because they've never seen. They never had a black boss.
They complacent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like they've never had a black boss, so it's abnormal. They even say the same thing with these with a lot of these professional athletes, because a lot of the professional athletes, you know what I'm saying, the black dude, a lot of them grew up in single parent mother households. So when they get a black head coach, they don't listen to him. Like that black head coach ended up getting fired because he can't get the team to rally behind him. Like they just don't accept that authority. They're just not wired to accept it. But as soon as this old white man comes in there, they're lockstep scan listening. You know?
Well, and the sad part is, the sad part is with us a lot of times.
OG, hold on a second. I'm sorry. Auntie, check the back chat, bro. Check the back chat.
I got you.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times we don't even believe anything unless somebody that don't look like us say it. That's when we'll believe it. I can come on here and say something so serious just went down and and you won't believe me, but let somebody that don't look like me say it. Let a clear person say it, or let an Asian person, and you believe it, and it could be about us, and that's the sad part. It's like, oh, okay, so they had to say it in order for you to believe it. That's just how conditioned and brainwashed we are when it comes to certain things. And the part is, you're right. You can't get mad at nobody because they say they would rather hire their own people. I ain't mad at Asian people for that, white people for that, Hispanic people for that, because they do that. They keep it in the family. They keep it in the race. We the only ones for the most part that don't. I used to see it a lot growing up. I'm older than you guys. So I used to see it a lot growing up in the 70s and in the 80s, where we had the Johnsons. We know that was a whole family. The Johnsons had a grocery store. The Johnsons had a barber shop or a pool shop or something. When I was coming up, we did used to have that type of community, right? In the black community, in our culture, but it's lackluster now. It's because it's every man for himself and God for us all. Unfortunately, we have become a very individualized race and group of people that only care about self and only self. I'm not saying you don't help nobody. You'll help your immediate family if you're married, your wife, your kids, but sometimes they won't go past that, because the two brothers don't get along, or the brother and sister don't get along, or the two sisters don't get along, or the mama don't get along with the kids, or mama don't get along with, the parents don't get along with the kids, or the father or the mother. It's crazy how divided we are and how individually we think. It's only about self-preservation.
I'll agree wholeheartedly. And it's not even, sometimes it's because, just like you mentioned, even if I don't even think it's about self-preservation, people think that they're, you know what I'm saying, doing self-preservation, but unless you're going to practice group economics and group dynamics, there is no self-preservation. Like, you're gonna have to work together. It's billions of people in the world.
I agree.
And whether we like it or not, you know what I'm saying? This is how we classify it.
Yep. Dr. Todd Anderson talks about group economics and group think tank and group, it is, and we don't realize how much we do need each other. But it's coming close to an end and an edge of where we need to start realizing this more than ever, that we do need each other more than we think we do, because we are behind the 8 ball. We are losing in a lot of things when it comes to the Black nuclear family and marriages, raising our kids properly, getting back to certain protocols, rules, and regulations on raising children, the dynamic of the respect a man has for a woman and a woman has for a man. All those things is damn near obsolete in the Black community and culture. It really truly is. And when you think about things like that has socially engineered us, like reality TV, music. It plays a part. When I was on another panel earlier, we was talking about influence. Influence is everything. It's who you listen to, who you watch, who you rock with, how you act, all of that. You are affected by that in the world around you, in society, by things you see and hear other people say and do, whether you believe it or not, directly or indirectly, consciously or subconsciously. And if you take a look at what's going on around the world with all of these school pow-pows and all of these people going pow-pow, like that never used to be so much as the way it is now. Something is seriously wrong. And America think they got it right, and we don't. And we are being told that every day when you see what's going on around us. Take heed to that, because it's something seriously wrong. These children are crying out for help, and their parents are half-ass listening or ain't listening, and allowing these artilleries and weapons to be around children that they know have issues already. See, parents are choosing to ignore the signs in their own kids when their kids are problem kids. I mean, I could go on and on. It's a list of shit that we are lacklustering in. But until it happened to you, see, this ain't my fight. This ain't my fight. See, until it happened to you. And we have to stop having that attitude, because it ain't happening to you. It ain't your concern. We have to stop having that attitude, because what affects us in our community indirectly eventually will get to us directly. Mm-hmm. You know why? Look at all the black men that are being deleted by police officers. You think it don't affect you because it didn't affect you, knock on your door directly, but it is indirectly hurting you as a taxpayer, because every time that family sues the police department for millions of dollars, guess where the millions of dollars come from? Come from out of our taxpaying pockets. So it affects us, but we don't think it does until it actually knocks on our door. And then now you want the cavalry to come. See, we have to stop having that attitude. We are not going to ever get anywhere. And that's one thing I know about watching the little hat communities. And Queen, you said it right. They go at each other's throat, but you will never see it on social media. You will never know that they are doing it. And no matter what, they are not going to let you see them fight. Not like that. And they're going to have each other's back. Never. They're going to have each other's back. When them doors close, they may curse each other out and say some stuff. But they're going to show unity when it comes to the whole overall well-being of their community. They're going to be as one. And that's where we get it wrong.
I'm like, yo, when we're waiting on somebody to get deleted before we, you know what I'm saying, start taking care of things, it's almost like waiting until a fire breaks out to go get an extinguisher. It's like you ain't got no extinguishers in the house, but you're going to like, oh, I'll buy an extinguisher if if there's a fire. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? In those other communities, nah, they don't play that. It's like, look, you already know, you come to our neighborhood and you mess with our children, you got hell to pay. Like, you got hell to pay. A cop, like, you're right. You know what I'm saying? You'll be doing paperwork in Alaska tomorrow. You know? If you do that.
I agree with that statement that was just put up. I'm all for that. That's going to be a hell of a fight, but I definitely agree with ending qualified immunity and decertification of police officers so that they can't go to other police departments in other states and other cities and get a job after they then just pow somebody. But this is what's happening. But because people that look like us are the ones it's affecting the most, we not in the room saying these things. And I'm baffled by that. I truly am.
We tell my grandbaby pow pow. I like that.
Yep, pow pow, Big Rick, slap.
Hey, but I kind of wanted to say something on the protecting or the working with us working with each other, right? And like I could dig the can'ts, you know what I'm saying, and I can agree to that, you know what I'm saying. Like I can't deny that, but also like how what B-Eazy said, you know what I'm saying, which is also a fact because you know we're pretty much doing that now, you know what I'm saying. Like there are a lot that do work together, you know. Me being in the music game, you know what I'm saying, I worked with a lot of my people and I didn't charge them, you know what I'm saying, for studio time and nothing like that, just as long as they had dope talent and was going hard and was really about what they was about. You know, I was willing to sacrifice my time and everything for that, you know what I'm saying. That was just my heart. And there's a lot of other people that are like that, you know what I'm saying, that I know that, you know, they're good and they have no problem working with their people, you know what I'm saying, and pride themselves on that. And I just also want to give that kudos out there because yes, there is, you know, them ones, man, where, you know, they don't want to see you shine. You know, it's like they want to do everything to make sure you don't make it to the top. You know what I'm saying? And I've always said, you know, with my own people, you know, I can go into an all, you know, black neighborhood and I'm gonna feel uncomfortable because there's gonna be people that may want to rob me or do certain harm to me just for the way, you know, I look or my jewelry or whatever. But I could be in other neighborhoods that can be predominantly whatever, and I don't really have that feeling or fear like that. You know what I'm saying? And it could be bad, but it ain't like how it is with my own people. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just different, and I can say that as for me being a fact. But I just also want to just, you know, give the kudos, you know, to the ones, you know, that do, you know, love working with our people, man. You know what I'm saying? And extend that hand just like what we're doing now. You know what I'm saying? So we can never forget that. And I just wanted to put that out there, you know, as a for show, because we can label all the wrongs and they're fucking true, man. You know what I'm saying? And we can display it on live, you know, shit, you know what I'm saying, that people see on live streams, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we can't discredit, you know what I'm saying, the ones where, you know what I mean, it's all for the positive, man. And we do need to shed more light on the positive of what we do than shedding the light on the negative, man. I think that'll be a big step in changing the mindset on how people view, because if we can conduct ourselves a little bit better, you know what I'm saying, as in when we're, you know, on streams and in public, and also, you know, just present the good that we do, you know, big up that more than the drama or anything, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not for drama in no way, you know, never am I trying to start drama or anything like that or anything, but you know, it's just we just gotta, you know, just be better and show that, because I think what's being shown a lot is always the negative that we do, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah, that's true. That's true, and there are good people out here, do boots on the ground, grassroots doing the work. It's just unfortunate a lot of times that they don't get the shine that they deserve. You know what I mean? Like you said, it's more of the negativity, it's more of the beefs, it's more of the BS that is more brought to the light, which shows a lot of times where the headspace of our people are sometimes, because like you said, when you bring in the positive, for a lot of times you don't get the clicks and the views and the people in the chat until you see all the drama. Then we here for that though. We here for it. You know, they be all in the chat. I'm here for it. I'm in the building. I'm in them, you know, it is just, it just baffles me, because it lets you know the headspace that we're in, you know, and everything is not just to entertain you all the time. You know what I mean? It's some things in life, you know, real good things that people are talking about on these panels that can benefit you. You just got to know where they are and pick and choose right. Because if you constantly picking the negative, to me, that says a lot more about you than the positive, right? If you always in the bullshit, in the drama, in the toxicity, more than you are in the positive, I don't know, I'm side-eyeing you like, how are you in real life? You know what I mean? Because I live my life out loud on these damn panels, and I live my life out loud in real life. But I know it's a lot of people on these in these YouTube streets playing games, you know, with people, and they making mad money doing it. because they just here to entertain you. See, and we got to stop tap dancing and buck dancing all the time for the entertainment. We've been doing that shit for a long time. And that's why we behind the 8 ball. Because we just want to entertain you.
That's a fact, OG. I really agree with that, man. I really agree with that because just like when you do your streams, it's always positive. It's just something more uplifting, more than something of tearing down or speaking bad on something, or you know what I mean. And that's good vibes, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like even when we do our thing on our show, we just try to keep a good vibe and topics that are kind of cool, nothing that's gonna be like, hey, this and this and this, or like you just trying to tell somebody this or be negative, or we ain't for this, you know what I mean? Just regular cool discussions, man. You know what I'm saying? Because everything can end up looking as if since we already have it against us, you know what I'm saying, as if they just arguing and just going at it with each other, you know what I'm saying? So I just try to stay away from all that type of hype, man, because that's just ridiculous, man, because we so much better than that, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what you see a lot of, but that ain't what it is.
Real talk. Eso, I see you just joined the panel. Welcome, sir. You have to add to this conversation.
Eso.
Oh shoot, I was on mute. My fault. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
You got something to say, Queen, until he comes on?
I would say that I'm gonna apologize to you for being a little hot, because it wasn't necessarily directed towards you. It's just the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. So it wasn't even about you. So I'm gonna just say that on live. Y'all can catch you, because I don't apologize very often. So I'm gonna say my bad for if you felt like I was coming at you or anybody in the chat. I wasn't. I was just talking about tired of being part of the BS, because I watch too many black men drag black women, and they came from one. Their grandmother is one. And they choose the ratchet girls, and they give them the clout to make them delusional, and then they drag them because they just want to smash them and dump them in the back seat and shut them up. So, I get real tired of that, and having other cultures speak on what a black woman needs to do when they know nothing. No other culture could ever say anything to me as a black woman and tell me how to move and shake in these streets. So, yeah. So I'm just tired of that. So my bad.
It's all good, Queen. I appreciate you. And
hey, look.
I definitely agree with you on what you be seeing out there. I agree for sure.
I don't admit I'm wrong very often, so you better hold on to this nugget. And don't.
Queen, I rock with you, Queen. Come on, man.
You better put this nugget in your pocket and put some formaldehyde and put it in a petri dish and hold on to it, because it ain't, it don't come very often. So.
Right.
Now Big Rig is that dude. I know you wasn't coming at him personally, and I think even the people in the chat know. It's just that it comes a time when enough is enough, right? And you kind of like fed up to hearing the same old over and over again. I'm telling you, that's why I choose to fall back, and I'm not on panels as much as I used to be no more. It's like I have to detox myself, and I have to take some time off, and it's good for the psyche, because I'm telling you, these people will wear you out because it's the same stuff over and over again, and you keep saying, what is it they not getting? What is it they not getting? But people is choosing to not get it, and that's the thing. And people is choosing to continue to beat a dead rug because that's the popular thing to do.
You enjoy tearing us. You enjoy tearing yourself down like you don't have a mirror. Like if a black person said anything about the wife of one of these other presidents, they would have been done. But you got people that was totally disrespecting Michelle Obama. Whether you like them or not, you got people that let's just say that's your mother. That's somebody that called your mother a monkey in the high esteem of position that she's in, and it's okay.
Yeah, Queen.
Okay.
I worked the Obama campaign. I worked a campaign, and I'm not happy with the results from my president. And I worked a campaign, but I would never, ever,
ain't nobody. But see, this is the problem. How are you inspiring? How inspiring the young people in your community? Yeah, music is basketball players. Yes, do that. But if you want to see real change, my little brother, my little sister, be a part of the change. Go into politics. Run for Congress. Make bills. Make laws. Like, go for a judge. You know what I mean? Like, but we don't do that. We promote the TikToks and the OnlyFans and the twerking and the BBLs and the over passport brothers, and you know what I mean? Like, come on. Once again, you're taking your money out the community and you're giving it to a community that don't respect you or want you. They don't even like the dark people in their own community. What the hell is wrong with? I don't get it. How you overseas and they disrespect their own people that are darker, and you think you're gonna get a pass? You only get a pass because you got a few dollars. Let that bank account run out. See what's gonna happen to you.
Yeah. I already know. It's about classism everywhere. That class structure, because somebody got to clean up. Somebody got to take out the trash. You know what I'm saying? And if you feel as though that's something that's beneath you, then you have to have a class beneath you that does those things, that handles those. And so if you keep preaching, race and politics like that, as far as for people who are different and because of the skin tone and all of this that goes with that that inferiority complex, that thinking, then we'll continue to have where, we put all of our dirty business out in the middle of the street for everybody to see. But the people who we speak on, who are in power, do none of that. They don't dwell on any of the, you know what I'm saying, the Epsteins and the what's the Bama name? Start with a W.
Weinstein.
Yeah, none of them. They don't worry about any of that. So what we'll do, and I don't know, y'all saw the news. I don't know if y'all saw earlier this week, Chris Brown, and they was talking about, he had a picture with the girl, whatever. They was promoting a song or something they was doing together, collaboration. And so they start bringing up old stuff. That's only in our community do we dwell on the negative that somebody did and not bring up any of the positive or any of the benefits of having their music. So it's only the negative that we focus on, and the negative is what gets attention. And so, like you said, the BBLs are twerking. It's going to be more of that, because what is getting attention is the BBLs and the big booties. And so if for one, that the people who are modest, the women who are, I think I saw a saying that said, behaved women rarely make history. Well-behaved women or well-behaved people, period, rarely make history. It's only when you go against, the status quo, that you make history. It's only when you go against, like, because at one time it was like, just let them treat you however. Just drink out of the colored toilets, or drink out of the colored faucets or whatever. Just go along to get along. And that way of thinking in this society nowadays is too toxic, where people are like, no, we're not going along with that whole, men can do this and you can't. No, all of this status quo is being changed, because it has to be, like, in order to make way for change, in order to make way for what's really coming next, is a era of class systems where it's class system lower than us. Robots. You know what I'm saying? Robots, automation, all this shit is coming. So it's like we actually have to keep having these conversations in order to understand that we are more alike than we are different.
ESO, bro, I'm rocking with you, bro. But you done touched on about 1,000 different things, man. You done went from damn near women to robots, and I dig it, right? But with the topic though, just what do you think about just concentrating on that? Just a quick, you know what I'm saying? Like on just that topic right there that you see. What do you think about that? Do you see what the topic is?
Why can't black people work together?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
So just on that, it's a category, right? I think I put it in the chat. So-called black people, right? So you got how would you say, okay, if it's a Haitian and a Jamaican next to each other, and we calling them both black, right? And one of them is making a distinction, saying, no, actually, we need something for my people. And the other one is, no, I need something for my people, right? And as far as for black people, there are people who are trying to make distinctions as far as for what black people is. So that divisiveness, the reason we can't come together is because, you know, not just geographically, but in our mindset, we don't think of each other as human beings first, as all one human family first. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole issue.
What would you say we think of each other as?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's all kind of categories. They got FBA, ADOS, oh, I'm African American, or I'm colored, or I'm a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. So it's like, or you got people who actually know a little something about something and will say their nationality, or actually I'm, you know, Cameroonian, or I'm, you know, Moroccan, or however they want to, you know, classify.
Okay, well, look, okay, check this out, Eso, because like, okay, like chopping it up with you, bro, like you a real deep person, you feel me? So like a question, like you get like really deep, like how you put the Haitian in there and then like a different group on the whole black. I'm just talking about, let's just say like a regular social, maybe community, like maybe in your life, have you ever had a feeling like, man, it seems like, you know what I'm saying, my people, it's hard to work with my people, and these are the reasons why? Or have you not had that feeling? Has it always just been?
I've had people say to me, you know, oh, I wish we were more like them. This is at a job, right? And this is a manager who is of color, a person of color like me. But the things that they're saying, and when I say black people, we got to realize that all skin folk ain't your kinfolk, for one. Like, just because they have a darker hue does not mean that they are for you. It's so many people who will use that as a, you know, basis to mistreat you. And so when these like, when you in a small circle, and if it's all black people, it's still some way to divide, is what I'm saying. Even if we are all together in one community, it's still going to be somebody who says, oh, well, you know, I'm not that kind of black. You know what I mean? Or oh, you dark skinned black, or you light skinned black. You know what I mean? Or you blue black. All these type of the ignorance is so preposterous. It's like you can't get away from it. Like, have y'all ever had this experience, or no?
Yes, yes. I was told I wasn't black. I was told I wasn't black because my hair is not coily. It's very silky and curly. I was told I wasn't black. I was spoke to in a different language growing up in the East Coast.
I get that today.
A major issue.
I get that today
with who I was.
Riggs, be quiet.
I do. I swear to God, man. People swear I'm something else, bro.
But I had parents
They think Riggs, I'll be sure.
I had parents who embedded
Samoan,
in
whatever.
who I was.
Damn.
But this is what happened. This is what is still the repercussions of it because our community haven't healed.
I think a lot of
it. You drop a few dollars in there, a few chips, and we're like rats trying to get the same piece of cheese. So what you gonna do? You're gonna devour each other. That's what's happening. Yeah. That's what's happening.
I've definitely been in a work environment where I've actually been a little jealous and envious of seeing how another race of people protect each other on the job and how we'll rat on each other in a minute and get each other fired and stuff. I've actually seen another race of people protect each other when somebody was dead wrong, but they didn't rat them out. They protected their job because they knew they had a family, this and that, and they covered for them. But I've had it happen to me where somebody literally intentionally got me fired from a job, and they look just like me, and it wasn't no hurt that I did or caused to them, but it has happened to me before, and I'll be like, damn, why we can't be like them? Like, why we can't you know what I mean? Like, why in the world? All they had to do was keep their mouth shut. You know what I mean? They couldn't prove nothing. I actually had that experience, like real talk.
And I was made fun of, like, called a liar.
Queen, hold on, Queen. Oh, go ahead. Hold on, Queen. I gotta get to Lonzo Hall. Lonzo Hall, go ahead, bro.
So real quick, I actually wanted to piggyback off of both what Queen and OG Patrice was saying. So I think one of the major issues is kind of like Esther was saying, we don't want to be a monolith or stuck in a caste system. So that's one of the major reasons that most people of melanated tones don't work together. Then we also have to realize the reason that the term all skin folk ain't your kinfolk came was because you got folks who are Dominican who are darker than every one of us on the panel. But I know black, Poppy. I know black. I Dominican. I know black. So we in this country have no nationality, technically, which is what Essa was saying, which is why there's that separation, because there's nationalism with other people of our diaspora.
And that's why so many people jumped on trying to find out where they came from, because we have no history. Who am I? Where did I really come from? I'm not from the areas where my grandparents lived or my great-grandparents lived. I'm from somewhere different. What am I made of? You know, what is my native tongue? You know? And so you grow envious of that because at least you have that. I don't have that. So
yeah, you're right, Queen. And a lot of times, a lot of our people don't. I've heard people in these YouTube streets. They don't care. They be like, "Well, I don't care. I don't care about my ancestors and what they did and what they went through." I'm like, what? And it just shows you the lackluster of empathy and just even for your own the blood that runs through you. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care. A lot of them don't, especially a lot of the younger generation. I've heard a lot of them say it in these YouTube streets. Like, they don't give a rat's a.
But B-Eazy, I wanted to say what your comment is. It's not just us. It's even on applications. There weren't a whole lot of choices.
Now, I don't wrap all of us together because I know all. I'm just saying, like,
even in applications, it gives you it didn't. They don't always include that. Maybe they just started, but they didn't always include Haitian, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, Dominican, South African. They don't include that. They say black, African American. So they give you true choices that are neither one of who you are.
Anybody else want to build? I'm not gonna see you on the panel, bro. Definitely you can build, bro, on what we talking about.
I appreciate it, man. I just lucky tap back in. So I'm just lucky just hopped on just to show y'all some love. What's going on, Big Riggs, OG, ESO, Brother Hall, Lady Queen.
What's going on?
Another day, another dollar. That's all. Continue. That's all.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Question of the topic is, why can't we as black people work together? So that's the topic, D.
Yeah, I saw the title and the thumbnail in the description too. So I'm be honest with you. That's a multifaceted question, my brother. But I'm gonna be honest with you without being messy. My personal experience is people have their own personal bias. It don't matter if you can get the job done in most cases. If they don't like you, they don't like you. It's not even about whether they can work with you, because they can. They won't. And usually that's when I start to realize, oh yeah, these niggas just they don't want to get the job done. They want glory. They want credit, right? Without paying their dues. It's so much. For example, OG Patrice was just talking about how it's different people within our own skin folk. That's a fact, right? Right. There are certain people that will call themselves leaders. You ask them what part of society did they impact in their community, they can't tell you, right? And I just don't know, man. Like, there's so many things.
Leaders. That's them damn self-proclaimed leaders, but ain't lead shit but themselves.
But OG, you know, it's like 90% of the men in this space consider themselves leaders. Like, it's asinine, to be perfectly honest. I think that delusion keep us from working together. But mostly, to answer your question directly, 84, for the sake of the content, I think it's just personal bias. I think people see somebody and say, whatever excuse I'm going to make up today, instead of focusing on the solution, I'm going to focus on hating this person. And they just fucking separate themselves, bro. I can't see no other reason.
You really think that, Daryl? You really think that?
What other reason is there?
But just on a whim, I just feel like this is how I'm gonna be today. And
you from Oakland? Can Bloods and Crips
from San Jose?
Well, you from California? Can Bloods and Crips get along? Yes or no?
Nah, you gotta understand. Oakland is not San Jose. San Jose is not Oakland. It's different,
and that's
bro.
Cool. That's cool. I like, the territory don't matter to me. Can Bloods and Crips get along and work together? Why don't they?
Yes. What's that?
Why don't they?
Well, they actually do it. And they actually do. If they're in an environment where they're together, they actually do.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
When you talk about prison,
it has to be monitored by.
It don't gotta be prison. It don't have to be prison.
Well, it has to be. But it has to be monitored by other people that want them to come together, like your Farrakhan's, and it has to be leaders in a community that want the togetherness instead of the separation. And
it's got to be more the individual, OG Patrice. It's got to be more the individual.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Leaders or a team of people or a group of people that want peace and want the separation.
The group of people and leaders, that can be one thing. But it's got to be in you to want to do that. So if you're an individual and you just completely banged out, it don't matter who's talking to you. That's what you are, and that's what you're gonna do. But if you got any type of anything in you that may have some type of compassion or something that maybe, working with somebody, then there's a chance of that. And I see it all the time. But then you also got them people to where they mad at breakfast, you know what I'm saying? Like they would say. So it's more of the individual. But him asking a question, can a Blood and a Crip, get along and whoopty whoop, whatever? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. As long as you keep respectful boundaries.
They have to want to.
And the way you have your tongue and everything, absolutely.
Yeah, but you just said the magic word. They have to want to. Because if they don't,
it's on the individual.
Exactly. If they don't want to, it ain't gonna happen. And also we are a very cliquish group of people, we have to be real about that when it comes to a lot of people in our culture. We are very cliquish when it comes to sororities, fraternities, groups of people on YouTube, on social media. If this group don't rock with that group, then everybody in that group don't like that group. It's almost like a gang, even a lot of times in the YouTube streets. It's very cliquish. This person don't like this person, so now
That's
everybody that rocks with them don't like that person. So and they talking to you against that person, and you ain't, now this person ain't never done nothing to you, and you ain't never done nothing to them. But because one person that you may have had words with don't like that person, they getting everybody not to like you. That's how we are. That's how we get out, right?
It, OG.
That's another reason.
The funniest thing about it to me, like, to take it off YouTube, but it direct, like what I'm about to say, I am talking about YouTube, but I just want to take off YouTube for messy. Because listen, you guys know who the fuck I am in this space. But at the end of the day, it's like, that's completely true. The worst part about it in real life and online is the people within them camps will allow their, so you say that they're cliquey and they will they will go against somebody else. They will allow people within their camps to lie to them and know that people was lying to them. But because the bias is so strong, they want to make it true. Desperately.
That's
begging.
True.
And see, and that's the thing that I don't like, because in these spaces, I find myself calling out a lot of hypocrisy. And usually it ends up with, with that situation happening, right? OG, don't mess with Daryl Long because the A, B, C, and D. The moment I decide, you know what, let me start to refute these comments. Now I'm the bad guy, but you're letting somebody lie to you directly in your face. And this is why I said, when we talk about the community, this is why I'm gonna bring it back to you, Big Red Slaps. And this is why I get so tired of black men, right? So tired, to be perfectly honest. I haven't seen black men hold nobody accountable in this space since I've been on YouTube, except myself.
You said a word. You said a word.
Literally, except myself. I can't tell you how many motherfuckers came to me about holding Daryl Long accountable. But these other niggas let other grown men go the fuck off and do whatever the fuck they want to, lie whenever the fuck they want to. But again, I didn't come here to address YouTube stuff. I have my own channel for that now.
No, I'm just talking, even in the gender war stuff.
Oh my God.
The women out, they're dogging the women out. When we say, okay, have the men make the men accountable and dress the men, I hear a mouse piss on cotton.
And watch, I already know that when I say this next thing.
Hold on. That ain't everybody.
Hold on, Bess, because I wasn't finished yet, if you don't mind.
Oh shit! Hit dogs holler.
But because when I say this next thing,
black
men always start.
Yeah, he actually said he was talking to me. He was gonna let it go to me. So 84, let me say something real quick after he's done, and then I'll be real quick, bro, and then you can go.
Because I always ask black men this, and they blame everybody else. 7 days after Orlando shooting left, I think 8 or 9 Asians dead. They passed the Asian hate bill that was completely backed by the men in that community. Different type of men too. Rich men, poor men, educated men, non-educated men, tech leaders, non-tech leaders, right? But they all seem to give a shit about the Asian community so much that they got an Asian hate bill passed. Meanwhile, niggas getting hung, slain. I mean, I can name names for days, whether it's Sandra Bland, Henrietta Lacks. I can keep going. But they don't give a fuck about those women. They give a fuck about the motherfuckers that Daryl Long accosted on YouTube. See, this is the problem I have with YouTube. But you see what I'm saying? Like Big Rigs. Meanwhile, the actual men that actually do shit in their real communities, they getting shit passed. But niggas are online, gender war, passport bro, complaining. I just get so fucking tired of it. It makes no sense. But go ahead, bro.
Okay, well, what I gotta say is it's really, really simple, bro. It's your environment, and that's what everybody, bro. It's the environment you put yourself in, the environment that you choose to be around. And like when you was mentioning how people act and everything, well, if you're in an environment where people act like that, that's what you're gonna get, bro. Like that's why I just, the way I move, I don't be around, certain activities and everything. And then with the accountability thing, I done had some pretty good DM conversations with you, young bro. You know what I'm saying? And I told you on certain situations on, you know, a better way on how to move. You feel me? And that was my way. You know what I'm saying? Of trying to hold you accountable and letting all that other type of stuff go. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to let you know you was greater than that, bro. When you be on your other hype and be doing what you do on your channel, bro, when you bring things to the table, you bring greatness, bro. And I told you that. All that other stuff and all that every rah stuff, that's garbage, bro. And it's just environment. If you put yourself in environments like that, bro, and in toxicities like that, that's what you gonna get, pimping. And you got it's just, you know what I'm saying? That's why when I hear stuff like that and when I hear the YouTube thing, man, hey man, I don't even get involved with that, bro. I stay away from it. That whole manosphere thing on how they say how to move and everything. Like I didn't grow up that way, bro. Like I grew up with both parents working and all kind of stuff like that. I don't have nothing against the men taking taking control of, all the business, like money wise situations of the house. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, like, I grew up with both parents working and there wasn't no issue. It wasn't like one was better than the other or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the man held it down and the respect and all that. That was a given, but just everything else, like these points are just really different, bro. So I don't let the whole little YouTube stuff even get to me, man. Like I just kind of seen what it was and now I know how to move with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all with that, bro. To just keep it real, like it's just the environment, man. The environments when it comes to these YouTube spaces, bro, that's what you're gonna get, man. Because they love the bullshit. But go ahead, 84.
That's a fact, Big Riggs. Man, you said a lot there. So much that I'm not even say much for real. But I'm gonna say this though. Out of all the networks that hold people accountable, I would say our network here on our relationships, we hold everybody accountable. You know what I mean? And on that. And anybody can refute
it. That's facts. I didn't mean all, and I definitely wasn't talking about y'all.
No,
but you know what I mean.
I'm taking offense to none of that, OG Patrice. But we're just being,
Yeah, let me.
I want to be clear. I don't mean all. I mean some majority.
Let me finish my statement though, y'all. Let me finish my statement. The reason I'm saying that is because the thing we got to stop doing is that we got to start believing people when they show us who they are. Because these people already show you that they're not going to be on that type of time to hold everybody accountable. They show you from the beginning. But what happens is that we like the way they talk. Sometimes we may like the way they look. You know what I'm saying? We like the presentation. We like the music and the thumbnails and all that. And we think that they're charismatic, and maybe they are, right? Maybe they have great talking points and they're charismatic and all that. But they're not for the people. They're for their own agenda. And a lot of them tell you that. They tell you, I'm here to get my money. I'm here to get my subscribers up. You know what I mean? But what happens is that people still follow them. So if they still follow them blindly, that's their fault. If I'm telling you don't go down that street because it's danger over there, and I'm giving you evidence, and you still go down that street, it's on you. It's no longer on me. I did my job. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. We got to stop looking for people who, to do certain things when they already showed you that they're not going to do that. And
the number one thing, 84, is you 100% right. But the number one thing is I'm not going to hold my homie that's sending me all these mad cash apps accountable. See, I can't do that because it's going to stop my bag if I do that. So if I can't call out my sis on her bullshit, because see, my sis is sending me mad cash app. You sending me mad, you know what I mean, money. So I can't call out. I know she on some bullshit, but I can't call out. See, that's what happened.
That person needs to let it be known that they on some bullshit.
Let me say this. If anyone is relying on YouTube to pay your bills or to give you money, I feel sorry for you. All right.
Hey man, I just reached 1,000. I'm relying on my YouTube to pay my bill. No, it's not.
YouTube takes a big chunk of that paper, so you ain't, unless you got, I think literally like maybe over like 200,000 subscribers, maybe something around that. That's when you kind of really making a lot of paper. You know what I mean? From what I know, but
the main ones are the big content creators that we speaking of that got these big platforms that know that some of their people be on nefariousness, but they get mad cash apps from them. They ain't gonna call them out. I seen
another thing.
Hold them accountable.
Hold on, y'all. I'm not
my fault.
done. I'm not done. And I would say this, just speaking to D, what I'm saying, piggyback off what Big Riggs is saying. I mean, yes, he is right. D, you do got a lot of greatness in you, bro. And all of us have had conversations with you, but you got to stick to what you say you're gonna do. You got to keep your word, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you say you're gonna do something, you got to stick to it. If you say you're gonna be focused on motivating and moving things the right way, then focus on motivating and doing things the right way. But when you don't do that and you do that other stuff, that's when people look at you like, bro, come on. So Big Rig is absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? When you're moving in that positive energy, we rocking with it. But when you start moving in the other energy, it's not beneficial, bro. It only brings.
Can I be genuine with y'all, 84? And you're not gonna like this, but I'm just gonna be genuine with y'all. I think that because like when we talk about like the spaces where people toxic and people doing this, we also forget to leave out that that's where all the fucking people are. They have more influence, right? So and it reflects our real life communities in the Black community, where we're willing to let people come into the community, into these spaces where Black people exist, let them build influence. We know it's toxic. We just to the friend said it's not for the people, but we are. But we know that that's where the people are. So the people are being influenced in an awful way. What the fuck we gonna do about it? Nothing, right? And then as far as the whole everybody accountable stuff, I mean, I can't stand on that. I can't say that. I can say people have tried to do stuff offline, but I know for a fact, and I like I said, I wasn't talking about YouTube, not talking about me, I'm not talking about personal, but me, I've been held accountable on fucking like online, plenty of fucking times, and that's not even the topic. The topic is why don't people come together and actually do stuff? It's like what B-Eazy said in the comments. Well, Congress passed that anti-Haitian bill. Why the fuck did they pass it? Did they pass it because the Asian community that's mostly made of men put their fucking foots on the congressman neck and then they forced them to pass it? Or they just passed it because all of a sudden they love Asians? And this is what I don't like is, and I hate to say it, but this is where I start to call niggas weak now. And this is why I'm starting to put my foot on Black men necks more and more and more, because we act like we're holding somebody accountable, but we're not. We act like we're gonna like it's okay to have these viruses, these people that we call toxic people, and they get all these different influence. They have influence because the weaker people that's supposed to be leaders not doing shit about it. That's why. That's a fact. So until we gotta first admit that first, right? Is the people who don't have the influence acting like they are influential, but you're not. And if you are, you're not as influential as you need to be, because the people that you deem toxic, culture vultures, they're the ones who have a lock on the goddamn Black people and culture that you're supposed to be locking in on. Why is that?
Nobody say nothing. I got this. Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. Right? Listen, I understand what you're saying, D. But if you look at
and let's make it in real life, not just YouTube. So I want to talk about anti and let them bum ass niggas. I want to talk about in real life.
I'm not mentioning him at all, bro.
Okay.
I'm not mentioning him at all. What I'm saying is this, right? At the end of the day, if you look at the person who really was spearheading the last movement, which is the Manosphere movement, right? Which is the great KS, right? It didn't happen for him overnight. He came in doing another movement that was big at that moment, which was the conscious movement, which was Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson, Sarnetta, and them brothers. You know what I mean? They was running Black YouTube. He came in, you know what I'm saying, developed his movement. He started out small. He wasn't huge. And through time, he gathered it, it popped off, and then he became big. So yeah, some small channels not big now, but it's going to take us time to get there. But as long as
you still focused on the channel, I mean, interrupting. I don't give a shit about channels. I'm talking about influence in the community.
Hold on. I'm not done. And as far as community, yes, you do what you can. You know what I'm saying? I try to help people in my community. I try to give back as much as possible. If I see somebody was doing a drive a week ago for somebody funeral services. Somebody had transcended, and the family couldn't afford to pay for it because funeral costs are very high. So they had a food drive. I went to my bank, I took out some funds, and I gave them something. I said, I don't want nothing back. They tried to offer me little food and cookies and all that. I didn't take nothing back.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
That's the type of time I'm on. Thank you, bro. That's the type of time I'm on. So yeah, we got to do it individually. Salute to Anyani. I see you in the building. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to do.
Yeah, reach one, teach one.
Exactly. But you know what? I'm a, you know what I mean? As you know, I'm all about respect. You know what I mean? M3's back in the building. You know what I mean? So we're going to let him take the floor and tell us where we're going with this. Go ahead, M3. Bro, you sound out, bro.
Can you hear me now?
You muted, bro. You muted.
I know I'm muted. All right. But look, let me just say this, right? As far as like with community building and all that, I understand like when it comes to like the YouTube or whatever, you know, drama sales, people like, you know, who have start beats or whatever, you get more viewership. But here, and I know we could do the same thing too, but here, we just don't allow that shit. Because you know why? There's a greater.
But M3, I don't mean to
wait,
bro,
hold
but
on,
y'all still focus on YouTube. You know, talking about numbers and subscribers. That was not the basis of my argument at all.
Okay, well, but hold
not
on.
in the slightest.
Okay, but hold on for a minute, right? You talking about
At
overall, right?
all.
Yeah, you talking about overall, right?
I was talking about. Listen, to make it clear, so I think that we're getting confused. In the great words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he who has passively accepted evil is as much involved in it as the person who perpetrates it. So what we see is these movements that we claim to be bad for the community, that's fucking the community, but we allowing it to grow. In the wise words of MLK, if you watch some shit happen and it's fucking up and you don't do a goddamn thing about it, then you just as bad as the people that's perpetrating it. So my whole point is, if we're talking about holding, the whole topic is why aren't people coming together? Why aren't the black community coming together? Is because we literally watch people grow these evil fucking things and spread like fucking wildfire, and we don't do a goddamn thing about it, right? Like for example, because hold on, because a lot of people. My bad. Go ahead, y'all got it, bro.
No.
The one thing I don't like is when black men like myself. How I met OG Patrice is we had. Let's say this, so I can really not be messy. We saw that there was people in this space that was saying shit that was literally bullshit, right? So we came together. We did the reparations panel. I wasn't being messy for coming up with those people the way I came at them, right? I was holding them accountable. But in the OG, this is why I came up, because when you was just saying that, when these people in these cliques, this is part of that cliquey shit. They won't just say those people are fucking wrong. You didn't even do nothing wrong, sir. You tried to hold them accountable. But in this space, I've learned over and over and over again, black men do not want to hold other men accountable unless the word black woman is involved. You get the black woman involved, if she not shit, then we good. But if we actually talk about real change that involves men holding men accountable, niggas gonna just say, well, my influence not good enough. You know what I'm saying? I only got a few people, so we gotta quit. That's weak as fuck, bro.
Yeah. Okay, hold on, Derek.
You said
again, I did not mention YouTube channel subscribers, so I hope we don't have that conversation.
I would have to wait. I would have to say that I agree with what he's saying, because if black men can have a conversation about holding black men accountable without even bringing up the black woman, that would be something to see. So I would have to agree with that.
Nah, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta
if black men can hold black men accountable without even mentioning black women, just holding each other accountable on your own shit. Because when I hold another black woman accountable, I'm not bringing up black men. I'm bringing up that black woman and what we do as black women and where we need to improve on. Should have shit to do with a black man in that moment, not in that moment. But we cannot have these real conversations when it comes to black men holding black men accountable without bringing up the black woman.
Okay. So I get you on that part, right? So let me give you the simple solution to that. Unfortunately, right, amongst your own groups, you know, in order for us to not have this frivolous gender war that doesn't really produce anything, right? One, we got to teach our black men. I'm just saying for a black man specifically, right? You know, it's the same way that how you guys teach like your black women, your young black women. We got to teach black men the value of each other. That's the problem. We don't teach the black men the value of a black woman. But you know what we do? We go ahead, we rant, we cry, not just on YouTube, but I'm just talking about anywhere. Because right now, a lot of these dudes are feeling stuff, but instead of providing the proper solution and just saying, look, you know, we actually need each other, period. You know, we cannot survive without each other, but we keep teaching the same propaganda because we haven't fulfilled our own lives and our own purpose And so we take things too personal, especially if the same type of women that we like that we can't get. And usually most people, they don't even get the quality women anyway. They usually get the hoes and they expect the hoes, right, to really fall in line and then to try to, excuse me, and to try to act like a housewife.
And then they get mad at said woman, and then they want to drag said woman. They talk about the women that they really truly want. Them are the women that they really want. The women that they talk about.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Wait, hold on, Riggs. I'm not even finished. Right. But also Patrice, right? But that goes for the same way with the poor choices that women be making. And I'm not even just talking about black women. I'm just talking about pretty much human nature. People make the wrong choices, but then yet no one want to take accountability. Everybody want to play the blame game because we all look at each other like we're inferior, creatures or whatever. But we don't never stand to all the other nationalities that be treating us like shit. And the reason why they treat us like shit is because we treat each other like shit. You know what I mean? So we gotta really pretty much teach each other like love and how to be productive and really have constructive solutions. This is why we have this topic right now about why black people can't work together, because you have so many feelings because nobody don't want to communicate and nobody don't want to see eye to eye. But you'll go ahead, you're gonna support like the other people. This is all pretty much some systematic type of hatred. We're going through like a lot of issues amongst each other that we don't want to call out. So we distract ourselves this YouTube BS or whatever, or social media. We use all these distractions to keep us away from dealing with the real truth. And then when we do speak up, we're just so goddamn socially awkward. So I don't mind. I applaud people that come up in these spaces or come up to these communities and hold it. That's if, you know what I mean? If men is actually holding each other accountable and women's actually holding each other accountable. What I mostly look at it is the way how it's being run is if you see results. And if no results are shown, then that's my question. It's like, are you really doing your job? Or are they just not listening to you? Are you talking to a brick wall? Go ahead, Riggs.
Well, I want to get on to two things, right? The first thing was I don't want to really put the accountable thing, because that is true. How B-Eazy said, you got to hold yourself accountable, you know what I mean, before you can really hold anybody else accountable, right? And I feel, I pretty much hold myself accountable, and then the people around me, they keep me, pretty much in line if I'm out of line, right? But I want to say more. I don't want to say to put somebody or make them accountable. More of, I don't like to see anybody self-destruct or crash out. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm more the person, to try to, guide something in a different direction, man, if it looks like it may be going, somewhere where it don't need to go. And that's just kind of me, and that's what that is. So I don't really want to use the word accountable, because maybe that can be kind of strong. But really what my intentions are when it comes to certain things, and when I see in people, especially when I rock with them, because if I don't rock with you, it's not to be disrespectful or anything, but it's like I don't know you, so it's like it doesn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? But now if I have some type of interest or whatever, you know what I mean? I want what's good for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to do anything that's gonna be bad. And then the thing that what OG Patrice was saying about being in spaces to where men do hold other men accountable, but they put the woman in there, it's kind of like it goes back to that environment thing again, man. Like, if that's what these cats be on and they talking points like that, don't even tune into that crap, man. Like that's hella wild. Like I would just
Big Rig, I promise you, they thumbnail be like, Men holding other men accountable. And then I go and I tune in and all they talking about is black
That's
women.
crazy.
I be like, what in the world? Like,
Ross Burr, is that you?
Yeah, that's me. What's up, man?
it's crazy to me, but to get back to the point of the holding accountable, you're right. It's a strong word, right? But we have to realize, like, even in these YouTube streets, we have built certain relationships with people, right? So you kind of, if you rock with people, you like coming on a platform like this one and others, and you having these conversations, you build a rapport with people, right? And you build something with them where you if they out of line with something and you feel like you done built a rapport with them, you can say, look, now come on, bro, now, or come on, sis, now, you know that's way off, that's out of line, you wrong. That's the accountability I'm talking about. And a lot of times they don't even want to do that, especially if that person, like I said, is shooting them a bunch of cash apps and, you know, always on their panel and they rock with them or whatever. They don't want to blow. Right, they don't want to blow that money, that cash app that person is giving, because they always on their panel, and what they word is bond. So they never want to tell this person that, no, that's wrong, or you that ain't right, or you out of line with this, or you was wrong for disrespecting this brother, or you was wrong for disrespecting his sister. These are just some of the simple things that I see that goes on people platforms, and they allow that person to disrespect other people on their channel. I've seen it all happen, you know, and they don't speak up and say nothing because this person is always, you know, rocking with them, throwing them cash apps or whatever. And it goes back to that whole click thing, you know. But I get what you're saying, Big Rigs, because accountability is a strong word. I would just say, you know, just speak up for what's right on somebody's behalf when somebody is wrong in somebody. You know what I'm saying? I've seen content creators will allow other people to do that on their platforms, but these people keep going back to their platforms, letting themselves be disrespected, and the content creator whose channel it is won't say a word. That I can rock with.
Right.
Let me say before Bronze Bird get in there, because I want to get Bronze Bird in there.
Yeah.
Let me say this. You know what I mean?
Salute, Bronze Bird.
Indeed.
Bronze Bird, you're gonna be next.
Yeah. D, you still in?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So listen, me saying what I'm saying, I'm not coming at you, bro. You know what I mean? The great QB, God rest her soul, the thing she taught me the most, and let your message be loud and let it be strong. So when I'm saying the things I'm saying, that's what it's based on, but it's all based out of love. It ain't based on nothing else. I don't got no agendas. You know what I'm saying? I can click this thing off anytime I want and still be great. You know what I mean? I actually love what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm nice at this shit. And I love my team.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Big Rig, big brother, he know. M3, he know.
That's right.
Of course.
As a whole know, you know what I'm saying? And everybody else know. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Not to come at you at all, bro. Much love.
Like I said, bro, I can't even take that personal, because I thought I made it abundantly clear that nothing I said tonight was about fucking YouTube. It was a reflection. All right, so let me ask you, how do we get the fucking anti-black hill? I mean, how can we get the anti-hate black people bill passed? I don't give a fuck about YouTube no more. Let's talk now.
Well,
I'm the one that kind of did that. I'm the one that brought that like that.
Hey, guys, hold up, everybody, hold on.
Let's get to Rosberg.
Hold on, yeah. We'll get back to this conversation later, though. But go ahead, Bronze Bird.
Let me just answer that real quick. Let me answer that real quick. Just real quick. The way we do it is how we got the Civil Rights Bill passed. We get unified, we make a collective, and we make our voices be heard. You know what I mean? Like we did before. Some of us may lose our lives in it. It might happen. You know what I'm saying? That's the casualty of war. But we understand it already. Bronzeberg, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask a question real quick and then make a comment. What do you mean anti-black bill?
The same thing that anti-Asian mean. What do you think anti-Asian mean in the anti-Asian bill? What do you think that means, Bronzeberg?
No, I just need you to answer. Just what is the anti?
No, because I can't give you context. I mean, I'm pretty sure I wanted to mean the exact same thing that the anti-hate Asian bill. I want to mean that. Whatever that means, that's what I want to mean. Capiche?
You mean as in the anti?
Hey, let's keep it respectful though, man. I don't know if y'all got some other shit going, bro.
Nah, I'm just asking.
No,
let's just keep it respectful though on both ends.
I literally done mentioned anti-Asian hate 4 times, and I wasn't asked once what did that mean, or are you confused on that as well?
Dude, I just came here.
No, I'm asking you, are you confused when I say the anti-Asian bill was passed by President Biden? Does that confuse you? Or is it only confused when it's anti-black?
I just need you to answer the question. That's all. Just
what I'm saying.
This is my answer, my brother. I'm not going to answer how you want me to.
It's called the Asian hate crime bill, yo.
It's the Asian hate crime bill, but not anti-Asian. I just needed to know what was anti-black.
So he's confused by the word, but he got it.
Okay, do you want me to break it down?
Okay, semantics.
Break it. Yeah, I just got here. I just want to know the anti-black bill he was talking about, so then I'll comment. Yeah.
He's saying he wants the same thing as the Asian hate crime bill. So we're saying the hate black people bill. So if you can come up with a bill that is anti-black hate. So if anyone says these N-words or assaults a person because they hold a skin tone similar to ours, or does anything negative or degrading to those who look like us, have lineage similar to ours, or disrespect in some form or fashion, there will be penalties.
Okay. Thank you for that, Alonzo. So certain things that happen to black people, and I'm not trying to be a dick when I say this, like it's certain things is not going to hold up and it's going to be seen as unrealistic. I'm just going to be honest. I think we still do need to lean on the black organizations that we have right now, as much as there might be some problems in them, or, of course, create some new ones. The Black Caucus, any black organization and stuff like that. That's what I would say. This is me just talking of what I observed. But anti-black bill, it's a lot to unpack out of that, because we're coming from times when we had the civil rights movement. We had all these organizations where black people was like, yo, we doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I want to kind of talk about the whole entire thing with accountability. Deep in my mind, I was like, yo, I'm triggered. But because I hear the word accountability all the time on these panels, and it's just kind of aggravating. It just seems like it just regulates itself into the whole entire quote unquote gender war. And I'm just like, yo, the gender war, it's like, yo, black men sitting up there talking about black women need to be accountable, black women saying black men need to be accountable, and it's just fluff and bullshit. I say it like this, like I say on any other panel. Brothers or sisters that talk all this shit, about accountability, I always say it's the tribal mindset first. You work with those who care. If you can work with those who care, then you set up the foundation. You guys go that way. I don't try to waste my time, and I do troll those dumbass people that sit up there and talk shit, because I just like trolling. But my point is, you got to get rid of those. Like, those type of people is, when it comes to me, you're no thought in my head. Like, I don't want you around me. I don't want you around my group. I don't think you have anything to offer to what it would be if I'm trying to get my group and collective together to move forward, especially in this nation now. And I would say also, working together as black people, we have to recognize the environment and the climate we in. We're moving towards the 4th industrial revolution. So my thing about it is, I think we should get into like things like tech or anything that's very important right now, so that we can be able to be the first in line when all these random things happen. Like, yo, let's create let's create something like the first black chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? And transfer it over to the schools in like Baltimore or something like that.
Give him an applause, M3. Give him an applause.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish real quick. But like, yo, like seeing, because I was gonna do a video on this, but I was like, yo, even seeing how it is in places like Baltimore where the reading score is low as hell, I'm like, yo, this is the perfect opportunity for someone that's black and in tech to apply something to those schools, so those children can be up on the game, and that they can be even inspired to actually read on grade level or higher, and plus learn tech at the same time. Because the Chinese people out in China, they doing a shitload of things to their kids, and they only like 4 to 5 years old. How they know robotics at 4 or 5 years old? And we over here concerned about TikTok, yo. It's something that's got to give. You know what I'm saying? That's my point.
I'm giving a round of applause for that, though. Hold on. And also, I'm not gonna leave. Wait, hold on, Queen. And also,
That makes
right,
sense.
you know, I'm gonna definitely give this sound a bit for like Daryl Long too. Hold on. He said, "Let me see. Oh shit, where's that comment at?"
Have him repeat it. Have him repeat. You live right here.
Yeah.
Same thing. The comment you made. The 500 signatures and all that. Let's get it. Like I said, all we got to do.
I was responding to B-Eazy. B-Eazy said, and I forget holding people on YouTube accountable. What politicians have y'all held accountable? I said I was just at Michigan State Capitol because we just had a shooting in East Lansing where a young black woman has died. So I'm not online complaining about shit. I was actually down there. We got over 500 signatures, and we got motherfucking David Hogg to support us. And people who don't know who David Hogg was, he was a survivor of the 2018 Florida Parkland shooting, which was a national fucking disaster. Right? So that's what I spent the last few fucking weeks doing. Right?
He
now you
also did
hold on. Because somebody asked me specifically what politician I held accountable. I spoke. I gave my receipts. And I would like to hear them, unless they just asking me for fucking fun. Because this is how I hold black people accountable. Because this is what black men do. Well, did you do something? Well, yeah, I did do it. Now, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, that's when they get quiet.
And that's when they get quiet. And that's when we start having conversations and we start talking about theories and everything else of what the fuck we did.
Yeah, buddy.
And I see I can't deal with it, ESO. You know why I just deal with ESO? We just buried a 19-year-old girl who was in her second semester in fucking college. And she was killed by a 43-year-old black man. Where the fuck the conversations at?
Damn.
Oh. Let's ask what the fuck does anti-black mean? Let's ask all these stupid shits instead of solving what's really going on in every single one of our communities.
My bro,
I'm just I get so fed up.
That's not dumb. If you're comparing anti-black to anti-Asian, which means now that I understand it is the Asian hate crime bill. That's not those are two different things. So
right
it's not
now,
asking a dumb question. Hold on, I'm sorry, ESO.
Hold on. Now I'm doing a hold on. You know what I'm saying?
One question led to a whole bunch of anger and hostility. Come on, man.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Hold on. My bad. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful, Beth, but shout out to all the black moms burying their fucking kids and niggas not doing nothing about it.
We're not saying you're doing any disrespectful. We're just trying to get some decorum in here. Everybody sharing their views. We want y'all to share. We want Queen to share. We want everybody to share. And B-Eazy, we definitely want you to come up. But let's keep it respectful, y'all.
I'm sorry.
If somebody. No, I mean,
being respectful means we gotta talk to other men like women these days.
Hold on.
I can be feminine.
I want to drop another hold on, but I will. Like I was saying, we're gonna keep it respectful. Everybody gonna share their views. You know how we get B-Eazy. We ain't gonna let nobody disrespect you. We ain't gonna disrespect nobody. You know how we get down, bro. You know how the family.
Nobody trigger. Get up here, man, and pull that trigger in, man.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I already apologized. Okay.
Yeah.
I got the 357 Magnum, man. If you're gonna have to pull the trigger.
But Best. I'm not starting shit. But all due respect, what y'all doing right now is exactly what I was talking about. B-Eazy asked me a specific question. What politician did I hold accountable? Now he talking about I put 4 kids through scholarships. That's not what you asked me. And you see, this is what we do as black men, or because I'm raising my voice and I'm asking this man the same goddamn question he asked me, and now it's hostile. This is what I'm talking about.
Respect, your accomplishments don't go unturned.
But that's not what we was talking about. All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Because this is what y'all do. Y'all love moving the goddamn goalposts. Go ahead, keep doing it. This is what black men do. The goddamn best.
So what I'm saying is none of y'all accomplishments go unturned. It's a great thing with everybody, what all y'all are doing, right? I really don't want to get to this conversation like, oh yeah, well you did this. Nah, nigga, you don't do that, blah, blah, blah. If you did something, you did something. You know what I'm saying? We all have to hold ourselves to that high regards at the end of the day. Who gives a fuck? It's just like, as long as you sit up there, you being about something, you deserve a round of applause in general. So
I never said that sending kids to college was not a big fucking deal. Okay. What I said was, if a man is going to come to another man and say, what did you do to hold those politicians accountable? And I tell you what I did to hold those politicians accountable, and I turn around and ask you the same exact question, I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about what did you do to hold elected officials who are grown men or women accountable about how they are policing or affecting your community. That's what I asked.
Well, Daryl, but at the end of the day, Daryl, did you do something with the politicians that you wanted to do?
You got it, bro.
No, I'm asking you. Did you do?
I made my point clear, bro. I just buried a 19-year-old girl who died, and this is what you niggas. Y'all got it. You good?
That's not what I'm asking you. Just a simple question. That's it. You got to do what you wanted with the politician that you wanted, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. That's it.
No, that's not all that matters.
Yes, it does.
Nope. All right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So mission accomplished.
Nah, I get it.
Hold on.
A lot of people
hold on, because I got it. Hold on.
Shit of all time.
Hit that hold on. Hit that hold on.
I don't want to hit the hold on y'all.
Hold on. If it's up, then it's stuck, man.
Basically all Bronze Bird is saying is we all do our part. You know what I'm saying? And we all got levels of greatness that we achieve. I help the family with the funeral costs. You help with the 500 signatures. You know what I mean? B-Eazy help with mentoring the kids. We all are doing our parts, bro. You know what I mean? And D, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, bro. We all hear your message. We respect your message. We respect you. But it's how you say things. That's all it is. You know what I mean? We do need to do more politically, socially, and all across the board. We know that. We all know that. We all could do more.
My bad. I'll be more softer with my tone. I promise you guys.
Oh man, D,
I got you. I got you, Daddy.
Now ain't the time to troll, right? Now not the time to troll. Go ahead.
Clip it up. Daryl giving us clips.
He like, hold on.
We're gonna go to Queen, then we're gonna go to ESO. ESO, I'm gonna get you. Go to Queen, then we go to ESO.
I came in a little later. Yeah, I don't know where y'all went. I'm just gonna say this. I think when I see different organizations in the community, I don't see us volunteering. I don't see us there. I don't see us at the food bank handing out food. And I'm a part of it. I don't see us. I see everyone else. I don't even see us on the line to get the food because we're so prideful. I see everyone else. And that's the problem. You know, in order to make change, you have to have the power, the seats of the change. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, nah, they not handing out.
I see different.
Wait, that's it? Leave after a strong message?
Look, how much you get for volunteering? Huh?
Queen.
How much do you make for volunteering?
You know what they do talk about ESO, right? They're not gonna talk about the little 19-year-old girl just lost her life or the shit that Queen was talking about. But when Lori Harvey decide who she gonna give her pussy to next, every man that's the topic of conversation, right? Because she's influencing young women, and that influence is gonna ruin the Black community.
Nah, that's fact. But that's one of those things that it's going to keep being on what entertainment, because entertainment can help not think about all the shit that we got to really work on as a community, as a society. It's so much we got to do. And it's like somebody could be like, well, I did this. I helped 4 people. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't did none of that. So what y'all going to say about me? That's what I'm saying. Most people will say, oh, not everybody can come. We got to exclude some people. And what ends up happening is we'll have a discussion like this, and at the end of the day, it all goes back to normal. We all go about our business.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to see here.
So, real quick, in terms of that separation, right, not everybody could go. One of the major negative flaws we see often is things like welfare placed on the backs of Black women. Meanwhile, 100% of the African American community population in America is approximately 42 million people. Guess how many Caucasians are on welfare? Approximately 42 million people. So That 42 million people in this country equals 20% of the Caucasian population, which equals 100% of our population. Again, maybe we've grown by 1 to 2 million people, but what ends up happening is no, we are not all a monolith. Not everyone can come. Some people do need to be dropped. However, it tends to be, kind of like Daryl was saying, Lori Harvey giving it up ends up being the next big topic. We don't, however, discuss things like, I'm sure everybody has heard of the Amistad. Well, I live by Yale University. There's an Amistad Museum. All right, there's an Amistad statue out here in New Haven, Connecticut. You know who goes to that Amistad statue? The rich ass Asian and white kids who are paying for Yale. This shit is down in the middle of here for free for us to learn our history. That's part of the reason that we don't have an anti-black bill, because like OG Patrice said, we don't even give a damn about our past, right? And then we have situations like children being murdered, and we turn our backs. But yet, when a white cop murders one of us, Black Lives Matter. The niggas who shot me 5 times, ain't nobody go out and march and be like, no justice, no peace. Stop shooting other brothers in the streets. Right? So, at what point do we just say, F it? We do have panels like this, like-minded individuals. We're going to have to pull together. Yes, especially when you're talking amongst men, tones are going to be raised because we don't talk softly, because we have to dominate, right? And so even little BS like white supremacy, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, I'll get back to topic, but I don't think that white supremacy exists. See, I'm a true supremacist. So as a supremacist, I want my opponents at their apex best or with an advantage over me. So when I dominate them, like as most of the time black men do in every fucking arena we go into, I can show my true superiority. So what ends up happening is we also need to know who our local public officials are. Like Daryl was saying, shit, he held someone from my town accountable before I did. And I was
gonna bring it up, Alonzo. I swear to God, I was just about to ask you. I swear to God, but I'm gonna let you talk about it because when you was the only one that responded.
Listen, yes, I know. I know what Alonzo was going to, and Daryl was the reason why I end up emailing that same said county about that young lady.
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Yep.
Man.
Going.
Shit, I walked up on my Mayor Justin Elliker. And I deleted the video since, but I taped it and I was pressing him. He decided, oh, I'm on my phone, I'm busy, and he scuttled away. Right? So this is what we're talking about in terms of accountability. You have to be in a position to be held accountable to have that accountability. And I think it was Esso, you were saying earlier, there's a lot of people specifically on shit like social media who feel more influential than they are. But you can be actually more influential than by actually doing shit, right? By actually going out there and doing shit. And what needs to, well, not needs to, but what would be nice is if instead of challenging each other based on the merit of what we've done, we challenge each other based on the merit of, okay, so for example, B-Eazy, you asked the question, well, what politicians have you held accountable? Now, it's very difficult to get context through text, which is why we asked you to come up on the panel. However, you may have been asking that question like, well, why don't we hold some of these politicians accountable? I'll tell you what, let's look up ABCXYZ. And this is where Daryl's coming from when he says, it seems like with black men, it becomes a bunch of fucking excuses. Because in real life, on the streets, I sell insurance. So, you know how many niggas I hear, I'll kill for my kids, I'll die for my kids. The ops got $50,000 on my head. hey, for $20 you could be more gangster and put $1 million on your own head. Oh, nah, but I gotta get these here Beyonce tickets. Exactly. So it's just we keep going back and circulating back to the BS. Now, back to the other point, we kind of have to go into those realms if we want to make change, because ain't nobody listening to the truly influential people. Nobody said you made any excuses, bro, right now. One of the excuses, however, was, oh, niggas is emotional. Well, nigga, he's not physically in front of you. Are you worried about the nigga yelling?
And the thing is, Alonzo, and thank you, OG Patrice. I didn't even know that you emailed Mayor Joe Ganim. That's his name out there in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
I absolutely did, girl. When you gave that information on your site and the email address, I did exactly that.
Absolutely. And that's what I wanted people to do. We set out a call to action. 2 black women died in Bridgeport, Connecticut that day. 25-year-old Lauren Smith Fields and 52-year-old Brenda Rawls, both black women. Both were not talked about. And if they did talk about Lauren Smith Fields, they talked about the fact that she liked white men and that the fact that she didn't deserve protection. At the end of the day, Alonzo, and now OG Patrice, but Alonzo was the only one at the time that I physically saw. He was on video pressing the mayor. And he tagged me in it, right? So I'm saying we got all these leaders, we got all of these people. Because Alonzo, you listen. You one of my major supporters. One of the main things that people hate about me, quote unquote, is my attitude, how I talk about women, how I have talked about specific people. But the only thing I do is tell the truth about these motherfuckers, and they don't like my tone, which is crazy because they back Kevin Samuels up when he said women want to police tone, all the rest of this stuff, but you can't do that. Yeah. They love it any other time. When it's time for men to use our tone against other men, now I gotta speak like a cute little feline. I gotta talk to you softly. I gotta put on my feminine voice. Now we can have a conversation, and that's fucking ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, bro.
Hold on, let me say this. It's about decorum and respect for anybody. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. Hold on.
It's crazy that we police the tone, but we can't email a governor about dead black women. That's crazy.
Hold on.
You could have let that man finish.
Hold on. You have your way of doing things to help the community. He has his way. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. Let's stop comparing.
Bess, you're wrong again.
You ain't shit for that.
You can't say, well, after a woman died, after a woman fucking died and nobody did absolutely nothing, I helped the kid play football. He got a scholarship, so I helped the community. No, the fuck you didn't. You didn't. You want to act like your one little tiny fucking thing affected everything else, but it didn't. And that's the problem, bro. Do you not understand? Brenda Rawls, Sandra Bland, Lauren Smith Fields, I can keep going. Breonna Taylor. Let's stop for a second. You want to know how we got a no-knock warrant passed in fucking Kentucky for Breonna Taylor? Action. It wasn't somebody saying, oh yeah, bro, I took my kids to baseball games this week, so I'm doing the best for my community. Shut the fuck up. You're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
right?
They ended that no-knock
the people who was actually working was the ones who actually was on the fucking streets, going organization to organization, college campus to college campus. It don't give a fuck if it was a black organization, white organization, gay organization, heterosexual. It don't matter. We need you to sign this goddamn piece of paper so we can take it to the Attorney General Daniel Cameron, who was a black man at the time, and get him to sign this no-knock goddamn warrant. So for the next 50, 100 years, when the police have a reason that they want to go into a person's house, they won't kill somebody else and put somebody else's black daughter in a goddamn coffin. You taking your kids to throw a football will not change that. We need real action. But instead, this is what black men do all the time. Oh, no, I took my kids to go eat lollipops today. What the fuck that mean to me? And Bess, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but again, I'm real life boots on the ground dealing with a fucking mass shooting that the whole country is talking about. I got black men not talking about shit. That's crazy to me, bro.
D, hold on. But this is why you don't point fingers, because you've done things in this space that's disgraceful. And even
to people who earned it, to people who deserved it.
Let me finish. How dare you Say that about somebody else who actually is trying to make an effort and trying to help his community. You don't know what B-Eazy going through, bro. You don't know none of his past. We got to stop doing that to each other, bro. That's the shit
I'm
that's
not just
keeping
talking
us
about just
separate.
him.
Let me finish, bro. That's the shit that's keeping us separate. I applaud you for what you do, and that's great. But I'm also applauding what this man is doing too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing each something great in the community. You know what I'm saying? B-Eazy, don't even, you don't even got to respond, bro. I got this. You know what I mean? And if you want to come up, bro. But I got this. You know what I'm saying? We all do shit that's not always correct. Okay, including me, including everybody. But when we make strides to do things that are great, we have to applaud each other. Okay, and that's a big reason of why we can't work together. We always comparing somebody. Jordan ain't LeBron. LeBron ain't Jordan. Well, Beyonce can't sing like Diana Ross.
That's a good topic.
Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Who really cares at the end of the day?
Nah, every fight contribution is commendable.
Everybody's doing their level of greatness. Hold on, Issa. Everybody's doing their level of greatness. Just support that person's level of greatness for what he's doing. He's doing his level of greatness the way he wants to do it. You doing yours. We all got to do our part, man. Because if he don't mentor those young kids, they could turn out to be something else. If you don't get those 500 signatures, then we don't grow in our community and get legislation passed. We all got to do something. With that being said, I'm getting to Wally. Wally, go ahead, bro.
And just one thing, it ain't about the one up, man. It ain't about the one up. Everybody is great in their own way, bro.
It's not about none of that. Wally, go ahead, bro. I see you up here. Go ahead.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on, man? What's going on for everybody? How everyone doing?
What up, Wally?
Oh, good.
Hey,
What?
Yeah, what's going on? All right. So for the basic question, why can't black people work together? Well, yeah, as most of us already stated, it's basically multiple reasons, multiple factors, multiple questions here and there. But at this point, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be more of, I would also say, interest, because we have different interests. As far as just men groups compared to women groups, we just got different interests, and our interests don't align with the next person's interests. In my honest opinion. I think that's one of the biggest things we have to really look at, because if our interests don't align with each other in one way or a faction, one way or other, it's just not going to get through. You're not going to get through to be cohesive with one another overall. So yeah, that's why I'm bringing this conversation right now.
Do you think there's too much?
Queen, I see you unmuted. Then I'm gonna get to Miles Hall. Queen, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I think the problem is, to me, is that yes, we don't go to those communities. We don't go to those monuments and different things because our history is deemed not important. Our history is deemed undocumentable. Like, look at the history books. Everybody's history is in there. What is our history? What, a page, a paragraph?
We don't care about our history.
We don't even know. We don't even know half the inventors and what they created. And even Black History Month. I did all this stuff before. Make myself more aware. Blah blah blah. But it's like really intense. Like the different things I'm learning. It's crazy how they stole different high-end designers that you pay $2,000, $3,000 for a bag. They stole those designs from Black African tribes. Who's fighting for them? Nobody. Who even knows that? Nobody. Half the stuff you see is from a Black person, an African person, but we don't even know that. How often do you seek out to support the Black business? How often do you seek out to volunteer, donate, even if it's $5, even if it's $10, whatever? That's the problem. So Daryl, I salute you for what you do in the community. You have educated me on these YouTube streets, even the healer cell. I was on that stream with you for almost 10 damn hours. I was so damn tired and delusional, but that stuck with me more than any other panel I've been a part of. And I still talk about that today. So I want to say thank you. Continue to move and shake how you shake. Stir the pot, but guess what? Keep it pushing. If the person don't want to hop on, keep it pushing to the next house. Shake the dust from your feet and keep it moving. Me and my family, there's a lot of division even in my family. So me and a few of my siblings are moving differently. Okay, we're not going to worry about what's happened in the past. We can't go from that. So how are we going to move differently moving forward? How are we going to take care of the nieces and the great nieces and the great nieces and nephews? How are we going to take care of that? What we going to leave them? So that's how you move. You be a part of a community that's like-minded and you move accordingly. Those who want to be a part of it will be a part of it. Those who want to need to be passed by, they pass them by. Everybody can't go with you to the top. I don't do it anymore. I done tried to work with different people who look like me. So you know what I do? If my crew is as small as 3 people, guess what? We're gonna be the tightest 3 you've ever seen. We're gonna deal with the issues when it come up. We're gonna confront each other and we're gonna move accordingly. That's how you move. You know, yeah, Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. Yeah, but at the end of the day, what was you doing? What was you doing? So everybody ready to drag these women, and instead of someone say, hey, you know what? I'll get involved. I'll help you out with your finances. I'll help you with the books. No, what you do? Oh, look what they got. Look, they ain't shit. That's what they did. You know, even the people dragging the lady who did Slutty Vegan. She donated. She gifted one HBCU, everyone in the graduating class, a LLC. You know, some black man was dragging her for that, and another black man checked him. So I'm just saying, and she's buying land to grow her stuff. She's buying land to grow and farm. So in our communities, when you see a community garden, guess what? We don't own that. They give it to someone who don't look like us. I've been a part of this. Why can't you own it? When they had the dispensaries, they wouldn't give them to us. They give them to everybody else. So it's not that simple. So what are you going to do? So I tell every young person I come across, I throw them these different programs where I live in the West Coast. Free programs. Free. Housing. Tech. All kind of stuff. I say, look, you need to go after this. And I follow up with them and I stay on their behind. I don't care if you don't like me. I'm going to stay on your behind till you do something. Even if I got to come where you at, sit down and make the phone call and shove the phone in your face. I'm going to pick you up and drop you off at the assessment. But we don't do that. Go to the schools. What community school are you going to volunteer at to push? But they took all of our programs out of the community. So no music program. So what artists are we going to ride and say, look, can you give back to this school? Adopt the school. Or us come together and say, hey, let's get a money market account, earn some interest, and just donate gently used instruments. And I teach music, so I'm gonna go volunteer for 2 hours and teach these kids how to play a damn instrument. How many of us do that? But we got time to look at the girls shaking their ass, right? We got time to talk about Passport Brothers, right? We share those videos, but we don't share the other stuff. So we're part of the problem. And that's what gets me hot. You want to be a part of the solution, so stop perpetuating the toxicity. Every time something come up on my newsfeed, I press inappropriate, even if it's not, because I don't want to see the shit. But if enough of us did that, guess what? It wouldn't keep coming in your newsfeed. But you share it, you like it, you make comments. So what you think it's going to be? Did you know that there are over 350,000 young Black women that are missing? Who's talking about that? Trafficked?
I did a show about that.
Come on.
But they don't care. They don't
Come
care.
on. And they
They only
next
care
door
when
to
I'm
you.
being mean.
They in your neighborhood. But what are we doing? What are we doing? Then we talk about the Me Too movement. Oh, she ugly. She this. She was assaulted. Don't matter what she looked like. Everybody drags people for the wrong damn reason. What does her looks have to do with a damn thing? She was assaulted, so she started a movement. Because guess what? If a woman is violated, that man is out. That man is out within 30 days, if not sooner. And she still got to live in that community. She still got to walk down the street. She still got to be traumatized. Who's dealing with that little girl? Who's helping her? Nobody.
Queen, there was
Then she
150,000.
turned into a thought. Then you want to talk about her, but you don't deal with. No one sits down and try to help heal her. You objectify her, right? So come on, it's ridiculous. These movements happen because there's no justice. Yeah, I think some men get abused too. So speak on it. Do a panel. Do surveys. You can do silent surveys. How many men are actually touched as kids and don't talk about it? Come on.
Me.
Queen, let me follow up. And that's the issue. The issue is that we keep making this a man or woman thing. And Queen, I love your passion. I love how you're passionate. You know what I mean? But what we got to see as a totality is that we are under attack as a people. You know what I mean? And we've been under attack as a people for a long time. And until we start to get that through our heads, we're always going to have problems. Yes, women are assaulted, but black boys are the ones who are taking advantage of more than little black girls. And that's a fact.
No, I'm not saying that.
Let me finish.
Okay.
And black men delete themselves more than mostly anybody.
You're right.
That's a fact. So we got to stop doing the comparison of whose trauma is more trauma. Hold on, let me finish. We got to celebrate each other's greatness, and we got to be there to support each other. We need each other. The black man needs help, and the black woman needs help. You know what I mean? We got to get off this whole black man, black woman shit. It's us as a people.
I wasn't saying that to say that. I'm just saying that when a movement is brought out, I think the Me Too movement can include men. I think it should include men. It should. But what I'm saying is that when it came out, the first thing that was said, the stuff I was seeing, oh, look at her, who wanna take advantage of her? You seen the way she looked? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, Terry Crews tried to say he Me Too.
Who in the Bay Area who was violated, gang violated outside of school prom. And it was over 20, 30 kids that stood outside and taped it, took pictures. And they talked to one of the little boys who was a part of it, who was there. And he stayed behind and he helped her. He called 911 and he was like, they asked him, why didn't you stop it? He said, I felt outnumbered. I felt like if I would have said something, they would have beat me up. They would have jumped me. And I felt alone. So one guy who was not black was willing to, at least stood behind when the crowd left and made sure the girl was okay. But I'm just saying we gotta do better. We gotta do better on both spectrum. Nobody trauma is worse than the next. But I tell you one thing, I would never want to go through what a black man goes through. Never. So I salute y'all. And I support y'all. So when I got little black boys on my caseload, I take care of them. I tell them they're kings. You need better. You need to do better. You need to walk better. You cannot walk the same way everybody walks. You have to be different. Oh, you too hard on your case. No, they need me in their case. So they don't need you because you want to pacify them and tell them they're okay. So I digress. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. It's my Friday, damn it.
I'm gonna be real quick, and then I'm gonna hop off because I gotta work in the morning. As I'm sure everybody else do too. But so one thing I want to say is, I think maybe a part of the problem is that we aren't operating as a monolith because there is often, oh, we're not a monolith, we're not a monolith, we're not a monolith. If you look at other ethnic groups in this country, they might have their infighting, but they move as a monolith. I'll give you an example. Everyone knows this 6'3" Israeli guy with white hair who owns 300 records and used to run Def Jam by the name of Leor Cohen. Well, I, in New York City, while doing real estate, used to work with a lot of Israeli realtors. And guess what? They talked about each other like dogs. However, when it came, oh shit, my headphones just died. Can y'all hear me? Oh shit.
Yes.
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
So when they talk about each other like dogs, but when it comes time for and I don't know how loose we can speak, but when the Israeli folks or the Palestinians, but I'm not going to get into war and all that, get into something that they need and or want, they all come together. That's why you have yeshivas. That's why you have police forces in New York painted in their language that are only their people that police their neighborhoods with their schools that you cannot go to if you are not Palestinian or Israeli. And maybe we become less inclusive. We stop including Hispanics of any sort. Panamanian, Dominican, Puerto Rican, it's not the same thing. Yes, we appreciate y'all fighting back during the Spanish Inquisition War, but recall that Spaniards actually brought us over for slavery too. The only reason that war occurred because they was like, hey, y'all beating these niggas a bit too much, and we need these niggas alive to do this work. And then the Caucasoids were like, oh, well, we don't care, we'll kill you too. And then, the Spanish War, or was it the Spanish Inquisition or whatever it was, right? So maybe if we become more monolithic and less inclusive. But other than that, y'all, white bass, work in progress every day and see success. And when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute. I'm out.
Salute, Alonzo.
Salute.
I want to say this right quick, because I'm starting to get sleepy. I get it. Everybody got their own way of giving back, and it's a beautiful thing. But we have to realize one thing as a people when it comes. I keep saying this to my people. Politics move this world. Politics move society. And if you want change, you got to be involved. It's not just only voting. I keep saying this. It's showing up to these meetings, getting in these politicians' face. So I do feel Darrell what he said about that point. It is writing letters. It is sending emails. It is getting sent. It is all of that. It's not just voting only. They got that movement passed, that bill passed for them is because they got their resources together and they got up off their ass and they did something about it. And we have to do the same thing. And yes, B-Eazy, we do got people that's fighting for that the Black anti-hate bill to be passed. But y'all know we have to do everything. It's twice as hard as any other race. So again, I keep saying when I go to these meetings for the police officers that powering our Black men and women, I rarely see us in the rooms at these meetings. We got to do more than just vote and say, I'm done. I did my part. If you ain't gonna be boots on the ground, it's nothing wrong with finding out who your local politicians are. Send that letter, send that email, make that phone call. We got to do more than just only vote and think that that's it. Because we know our voting ain't getting us nowhere. Not voting alone, it's not getting us nowhere. Voting for people because they look like us or because they dangle the carrot and the shiny object. because they talk charismatic. It has not gotten us anywhere for decades. We got to do something different. And if we want bills and laws and things and policies and procedures passed and different and rebuilding and reform of police reform, we got to fight we got to show up in their faces. We got to write the letters. We got to make the phone calls. We got to send the emails. We have to do more than that. Yeah, I'm a part of, this new organization that's helping the youth through violence, through music. I just interviewed the man on this very platform, not even 2 weeks ago. But I'm also boots on that damn ground in those politicians' face saying this is what we need to see happen. So we can do more than one thing. We need to do more than one thing because this world and society runs on politics. Y'all know that. Everything is politicking. The economy, jobs, healthcare, banking, finance, all of that runs off of politics. And we have to do more. And I'll say that. I love you guys. I digress. And you guys have a good night.
You have a good night, too.
Good night. All right, yo, I'm about to close this out.
Have a good day.
You know what I mean? I'm dropping the link, you know what I mean? Real quick. B-Eazy, I want you to come up real quick. Big Rick, don't go nowhere. I want you to stick around as I close. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I mean? I dropped the link in the chat. B-Eazy, if you come up so we can have a little back chat after I close, definitely come up, bro. But yeah, thank y'all for joining Knowledge and Relationships, man. Appreciate all y'all. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe. You know what I mean? This is a great topic. You know what I mean? I appreciate everybody for coming in and tuning in. You know what I mean? And definitely, as always, y'all, thank you for showing love and continue to be intentional, as our Heavenly Sisters in the stream would say. That being said, y'all, we are out.
Peace. Peace.
Knowledge and relationships.